We are back at it tonight in the nation's capital with a matchup between one team that keeps finding ways to win versus one that keeps finding ways to lose. Yeah, the Redblacks are still in search of their first win of the season, and standing in their way, just the 6-1 Montreal Alouettes. It's Friday Night Football, Week 9 edition.
Last week, career best 156 yards rushing, second straight 100-yard game. This guy's gone 5 straight games with a touchdown. Awesome to see this guy play. Love it.
Davis Alexander lost a regular season game this season. It was overtime. He is still undefeated as a starting quarterback in regulation time in the regular season. That is amazing.
Well, the Redblacks, they're hoping tonight is finally the night they hit the win column for the first time in 2026. Jake Maier had success against Montreal back in Week 4, throwing for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but the comeback came up just short for Ottawa that night. And with that, we welcome you here inside the TSN studio. We're filling in for Kate and the gang, who are on their way to Edmonton for tomorrow's doubleheader. It'll be a great game between the Riders and the Elks. Laura Dykin, Dave Naylor, Paul LaPolice here with us. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers suffered a pretty surprising loss yesterday to the BC Lions.
Surprising to the panel.
That's for sure.
Winnipeg, yeah.
The Lions picking up their second win of the season. So that is how Week 9 started, as it continues here with the Alouettes and the Redblacks. And Ottawa looking to snap not 1, but 2 lengthy losing streaks as we welcome in Claire Hanna, who is in Ottawa. Claire, yes, they're 0-6 this season, but they've also lost 12 in a row to Montreal, dating back to October of 2022. If there isn't a team that is due for a win, I don't know where we could find one.
Laura, it has been tough times in the nation's capital. In fact, the last time they made it to the Grey Cup was in 2018, and since then, they've only had 1 season with more than 4 wins. So they are due for a win here this season, this season. And when you look at it, they're coming in fresh off of a bye week. Now, you'd think that with the added time to prepare for this game, they might have made some roster changes, but if you look at the depth chart, it is the exact same as they went with in that overtime loss to Winnipeg 2 weeks ago. Now, head coach Ryan Dinwiddie, he insists that the team is positive, that they're staying engaged, but we'll see if they can maintain that and try to get some positivity with the win tonight. Now, quarterback Jake Maier has had a long leash. His leash is going to be even longer tonight as backup McLeod Bethel Thompson is not here due to some family commitments. And one change I will mention, Lewis Ward, the kicker, was signed during the bye week because Brett Lowther is dealing with an injury, so he is going to be taking over kicking duties tonight. Now, if we flip over to the other side of the field, the Montreal Alouettes right now are the team to beat in the East, but last week they struggled a little bit with their passing game. It was the first time that Davis Alexander threw an interception all season, but Travis Tice picked up the slack. 2 huge performances in back-to-back weeks, so they'll see if the Alouettes can kind of manage to put their running and passing game together today offensively. And one thing worth mentioning, it's a special night in Ottawa because it's the legacy game. They're honoring 2 teams that have won Grey Cups here in Ottawa. 150 years worth of football is going to be honored tonight, so we'll see if the Redblacks can take a bit of that spark, because right now they are desperate for a win, and it's against the juggernaut right now in the CFL.
And we will be speaking to that man right there, Henry Burris, in our pregame show in just a little bit. Thanks to Claire. We'll be checking with her throughout the evening as well. Well, let's focus on a team that has had no issues winning lately, that being the Montreal Alouettes, looking to win their 5th in a row here tonight. But you know, that 6-1 record, Dave, a little deceiving. I mean, you can't really complain when you've got 6 wins in 7 games, but they haven't really been running over opponents, and they've been finding different ways to win, especially last week in the most recent one when they had to rally in that 4th quarter against the Ticats.
Yeah, it's a little surprising because every time you watch the Alouettes play, I feel a certain degree of confidence that they're going to win, and they usually do, except in overtime against Edmonton. But you look at the consistency of the schedule, going back to the very first game against Hamilton, their matchup with the Argonauts, all the way through. these are close games, and they're doing the things that you need to do to win, making those handful of plays, kind of the opposite of the Ottawa Redblacks. But, you know, this is a team that has a lot of sort of important stats that speak to what they lead the league in explosive plays. They're second in the league in yards after catch. They lead in time of possessions. They're second in turnovers. You know, stats are stats, but there are a handful of stats that are very much tied to wins. And Montreal is at the top of every one of those, and Ottawa, as a converse, is at the bottom of every one of those ones I mentioned.
Yeah, and a lot of people are like, Jesus, this is the first time that Davis Alexander didn't throw for 300 yards in a game. And I actually like it. Watching that game last week, the Montreal Alouettes, since Jason Moss took over, were a team that they didn't run the football a lot. They put the ball out on the perimeter, those quick screens and passes and everything. But they've got a different guy who can run the football now. Travis Tice, they're second in the CFL in rushing, 113 yards per game, second best average game. And they've got the most first downs rushing in the CFL. That's a stat that's pretty interesting for this Montreal football team. Yes, they are an explosive throw-the-football team downfield with Tyson Philpott, but they proved last week, hey, we can find different ways to win the football game by doing different things offensively. And that's what I really love about watching that team, how they each week find a different way to win. Because Tyson Philpott's outstanding. Sooner or later, those numbers are going to come down a little bit. Davis Alexander's numbers. But Travis Tice has given this team somebody that they can really run the football and take a lead and hold on to the lead.
Yeah, Travis Tice is one guy who's really emerged for them into, you know, giving them a different dimension. The other guy is, for me, is Tyler Snead, who I think last year they had a rash of injuries on receiver. And all of a sudden, Tyler Snead kind of popped up the stats. And I think you could look at that and say, well, you know, Austin Mack was hurt, and all these other, Tyson Philpott only played 13 games. You know, who else are they going to throw to? Well, I think Tyler Snead has put that sort of view of him to rest. You know, the way he's made plays underneath, he's made plays deep, he's blocking. You know, he is a legit top-flight receiver in this league. And one of the criticisms I would say of their offense early on was they had such a high concentration going to Snead and Philpott. And you're like, is that sustainable when you're throwing the ball so often to two guys? Cole Speaker, has come off of injury. He's had, I think, 5 catches each of the last 2 games. So they're kind of getting that third receiver presence in the offense.
And a lot of great points for Anthony Calvillo, because he's done a really good job. But Davis Alexander throws the ball behind the line of scrimmage more than any quarterback in the CFL. Gets the ball in those, you know,
gets the yak spaces.
Gets the extra yardage. You know, we know some of those guys aren't the biggest guys in the world. Get the ball in their hands, block for them, and let them get downfield. Those are easy completions for your quarterback, and then all of a sudden the shot play comes.
And you speak about the receivers, and yeah, the first one to come in mind when you talk about the Montreal Alouettes is Tyson Philpott.
This 80s style.
We got to give a shout out to Javid Khan, John Perlberg for putting this all together here. And yes, Tyson Philpott chasing Alan Pitts and that CFL record for most receiving yards in a single season, 2,036. He set back in 1994. And you can see Tyson Philpott came out of the gates with a lot of big numbers. The last time he faced Ottawa, week 4 season highs with 12 catches, 198 yards. The last 2 weeks, though, a bit of a downturn for Philpott. He had 88 against Calgary, just 32 last week against Hamilton, but he is still on pace for over 2,100 yards. And he's never had a 1,000-yard season, 161 more yards, and he will get that. He might even be able to do that tonight, guys.
Here's the most important number for Tyson Philpott, 18. If he can play 18 games, he's got a shot at Pitts.
Our pregame show is just getting started here. We'll hear from Davis Alexander, Henry Burris when we come back.
I think fans, teams across the CFL are learning about Travis Tice's game.
Back in the hands of Travis Tice. Freaking tackles and a whole lot more. Runs through 1, now 2 tacklers and a 3rd. And they can't bring Tice down.
I play like an Alouette, man. I'm trying to embody the Alouette way.
That's all they need. Travis Tice. The Alouettes will move to 6-1. The impressive Travis Tice show continues.
Well, we hit the jackpot last Friday night as our 4-leg same-game parlay hit for the Stamps-Bombers game at 16-1. Now, can we follow it up? The pressure is on us for sure. Montreal heavy 3-leg same-game parlay for this evening. And yes, we had to include Travis Tice in this one. Let's head back to Ottawa now to the 2 calling tonight's game, Dustin Nielsen and Luke Wilson.
Thank you, Laura. We've got an interesting one here tonight. We know Ottawa has struggled to find the win column so far this year. They've been close. A couple of 2-point losses. We're in a good spot to beat the Riders, let it get away from them. If they can get the run game going, it's going to go a long way for this group. And did you see some signs of what they need to do a couple of weeks ago?
I did, Dustin. It's very fascinating. You know, at the professional level, kind of all the rage right now is zone runs. You hear the term outside zone, tight zone. It gives the running back a lot of freedom. He can kind of hit it anywhere. Well, what Ottawa has done, going back 2 weeks since Winnipeg, is they've switched to a bit more of a gap scheme. So what happens in a gap scheme is you need a hand-down tight end that adds another gap, and everyone then has basically down blocks. You want your tight end just stalemate on a one-on-one, and it's great angles, and you go down, down, and then you pull around with usually an offensive guard. There's different variations of this thing, but you're just trying to find a small sliver of space in the gaps. You see the offensive line go down, down. Here comes your pulling offensive lineman. It's a great job road grading. There's the gap. Now, it does set the running back on a direct course, and you see here, Greg Bell slices it in there. It's an explosive run. Again, it's a little tougher to really hit these for homers, but it can be great. And once again, we go back, they had success. You put a hand down tight end, as we're looking at there. He's going to create an extra gap. We go down, down, and this is the youngster, Gio Vaccardo, coming around on the pull block. And what's fun now is you can get real creative. You're saying, oh, who's going to block that front side linebacker? We might just have to bring a wide receiver and get a little dirty. So it magically appears, boom. You see right now, we got bad eyes. We go inside, so we're going to bounce. The gap now becomes outside, and you have a receiver digging out a linebacker. That's Aiden Eberhardt doing the dirty work. Greg Bell gets a little space, gets a little daylight. All of a sudden, this guy's got another explosive run. Late in the game, they got creative with it. You bring an extra offensive lineman in to create, again, another gap. This is gap scheme. So now you got Goslin, who was playing tight end, also on the pull with Vaccardo. So it's a double pull gap scheme. You can kind of see the offensive line make a wall. Look at the crease here, Dustin. It doesn't seem like there's much, but when you can run this efficiently, you have a back that can go and say, okay, I'm going to press it, press it, press it. That's where things can really become exciting. So, zone run game, you really need to move bodies up front, and Ottawa has struggled on the offensive line of moving people, where the down blocks give them a little bit of an easier angle. They had success against Winnipeg. See if they implement it tonight.
Yeah, we'll see if they can establish that tonight. They're going up against a Montreal defense that allows exactly 100 yards per game on the ground. Laura?
The Alouettes' Davis Alexander is in the mix when it comes to MOP frontrunners this season. Finally healthy, the CFL's leading passer has been putting up big numbers, and the wins have followed. Don't forget, he's only lost 2 times in his CFL career, Week 3 against the Edmonton Elks, and then in last year's Grey Cup to the Rough Riders. And Alexander recently sat down for a chat with our Kate Burness.
Alexander needs a touchdown, heaving it down the field, into the end zone, deflected, and it falls to the field. The Saskatchewan Rough Riders have won the Grey Cup.
How long did it take you to get over the Grey Cup?
Ooh, I'll give it like 3 or 4 weeks maybe. I just watched it for the first time. I mean, me and Coach Calvillo, we watch clips throughout the off-season 3 times a week, so I've seen clips, but I actually watched the TV broadcast for the first time maybe 3 weeks ago, and I had no idea that the panel was saying that I should have been pulled from the game.
Adam, let's see it right now. Let's see the third quarter, how it starts. That you might look at Macbeth, might give you a little more explosion. Oh, it's a possibility.
So I like that. That one gave me a little bit of motivation, but it's 2026. We got to move forward. We can't win the Grey Cup on June 4th. There's 8 other teams dying to host that trophy, just like us. So we can't take anything for granted, and we got to make sure every single week we're putting our best foot forward.
Hello, bonjour, je suis Tere Roux d'un Alouette.
The Montreal Alouettes have signed starting quarterback Davis Alexander to a 1-year extension.
What does it mean that the Alouettes have invested in you long term?
I mean, it means the world, of course. You know, I love the city of Montreal. I love my coaches. I love my teammates more than anything in the world. It feels like home, for sure. They've treated me with unbelievable respect, and super thankful to be kind of a leader on this team, and it's everything that I could ask for.
Je parle français? Un petit peu?
I need to work on it.
But they must appreciate the fact that we see a lot of interviews with you and a lot of stuff that you put on social media, and you are adding a little tiny bit of French, which means something.
Yeah, no, I think they appreciate that and they like that, but they probably deserve a little bit more from me.
I need some help with this one, too.
Bonjour, je suis très heureux. C'est bon, c'est bon. 5 minutes, huh? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
So are you going to learn a little bit more?
I'm going to try and work on it.
So maybe this time next year we'll do 2 questions fully in French?
We should set that as a goal.
Okay,
yes,
I like that's a good goal for the interviews. Social media-wise, we must say the Valentine's Day video, which we will play right now.
Are you looking for the perfect Valentine's gift for the football fan in your life? Or un date romantique sur Montreal.
I mean, that acting, I don't know how to describe it. Did you take a lot of flack for that video?
I did not, surprisingly. I swear I was with some teammates or something, and they posted it, and I was thinking, oh boy. I actually didn't watch the video right away because I didn't want to see how bad it was. But I think I just like reposted it or maybe collabed it or something. I threw my phone away for like a couple hours, and I came back and I had messages and comments. You know, friends from back home, like Gig Harbor, calling me. That's amazing. They're like, oh, I couldn't stop laughing. You know, I had some of my buddies' moms texting me like, this is the
Moms
funniest.
really liked it.
You know, this is some of the funniest things I've ever seen. But you get to see, I guess, another side of me. And
I like it. It shows your personality.
yeah, of course. Not a robot.
Not a robot whatsoever.
The moms liked it. Thumbs up. As Claire mentioned earlier, on top of a couple of East rivals going at it, tonight is also Legacy Night in Ottawa, celebrating 150 years of football in the community. More than 70 former Redblacks, Renegades, and Rough Riders will be in the building as both the 1976 and 2016 Grey Cup championship teams will be honored. A lot of star power. And when you think star power, you think of one, Henry Burris, who was the starting quarterback for the Ottawa Redblacks when they won that Grey Cup back in 2016. The heroic efforts from you, Henry Burris. Thanks for joining us here during our pregame show. And what's it been like to be back with your former teammates and kind of taking a trip down memory lane tonight?
You know what I mean? It gave us opportunities, especially guys like myself, a part of that 2016 Grey Cup team, to thank the guys that paved the way for us. The 1976 team, Tony Gabriel, a number of the greats that played on those teams before us. They donned this sideline, wore the same colors, wore the same numbers, and also stood on the same sidelines as we did. But if they didn't put in the work that they did, and also, let's admit it, go through some of the frustrations that they dealt with, it wouldn't have put us on this pedestal and also, you know, create this foundation that we were able to share our God-given gifts on. So just to be able to get together with them, to come back and bring together so many memories and bring together so many people, it's been an outstanding event to be back here in Ottawa over these couple of days.
Henry, it's Dave Naylor. I want you to take me back to pregame of that Grey Cup in 2016, because I remember there was some doubt that you were even going to play, running through the press box, and all of a sudden we look down on the field at BMO, and here comes Henry Burris running out of the locker room.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
What's going on? Take us back through all that.
Well, I guess it showed me I was getting old, guys. And you know what? That's when Father Tom was like, okay, this is the last one, so you might as well make it your best one. But, you know, with Dave Wright, Marcelo Cuenca, and the medical staff, they did everything they could to get me right. And honestly, it was my final game. Everybody knew it on our sideline. And so I told the staff when we were back in the locker room that, guys, just make it happen. Whatever it takes, put it in me, whether it's in a pill form or in a needle form, make it happen. Because, again, with everything that this organization and this fan base had been through, and of course, it being my last game, you think I was going to let that, you know, let myself be on the sideline for that game and not be able to finish out what we started? Heck no. And so to be able to be out there and let it happen, and trust me, going into the game, we had all the confidence in the world. That was a minor setback. And again, at the end of the day, even though now I might deal with some complications from it, it was all worth it. And all it does is bring up memories from that same evening. At first, I thought it was a Rough Rider fan saying, hey, go Hank, beat Calgary. And I think that's what helped me tear some cartilage in pregame that evening.
Hank, Paul Lapalese here. It's great to see you. Appreciate, Hank, everything you've done in the league, we so appreciate. And it's so hard when some of you guys kind of disappear and go back home. Could you tell everybody what's been going on? I'd love to hear about the Rattlers, Florida A&M, the coaching, and you've done the last couple of years.
Well, yeah, over the past 6 years, I've been, coaching quarterbacks and other positions in the NFL with the Chicago Bears. I coached Trevor Lawrence with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and of course, is with the LA Rams for a stint as well. Before, of course, joining the Florida A&M Rattlers over the past 2 years as offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. But actually, this offseason, I'm helping my youngest son, Barron, who's the number 18 kicker in the 2027 recruiting class, as a kicker. He's kicking 70-yard field goals off the ground right now, guys. It's insane what he's doing. So for me to be there, be working in media also on the side, doing some work with SiriusXM Radio, with NFL Radio 88, and also training quarterbacks for their academy. But guys, at the end of the day, once Barron graduates and he gets out of high school, which this is his last fall, I'm making plans to come back to Canada. CFL is home. Let's get it on.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
There's always a spot for you here on TSN, although I don't speak for the bosses, but maybe after that comment, I'll become the boss, Henry. Enjoy the rest of your night here. And
hey,
who knows?
let me know.
Who knows? Maybe tonight's the night the Redblacks finally get their first win of the season with all that star power in attendance. Henry will be giving out lots of hugs there tonight. And I said, perfect night for them to get their first win of the season. Well, does our panel agree? We'll reveal our game picks when we come back. The celebration is on in Ottawa. The Redblacks have been knocking on the door. They've been oh so close to getting rid of that goose egg in the win column. So what has to happen tonight to get Greg Bell and company over the hump? With more on that, Coach's Playbook with Paul LaPolice.
A lot of things got to be better for the Redblacks to get through it. The first thing I heard from Ryan Dimwitty says our coaches are going to self-scout and look at everything we did. We got to make sure that we're calling plays that the players can be successful at, making sure we've coached it well. That's where it starts first and foremost. But the players around Jake Maier gets a lot of, hey, Jake Maier's got to play better. The players around him got to play better for them to win. Let's go and take a look at a couple of plays. First of all, negative yardage plays. Negative yardage plays kill an offense. Watch this. Gio Vaccaro steps underneath himself on an outside zone play, loses 3 yards. Second extra, not good. Mental errors. I don't know this scheme exactly, but this has got to be a mistake in what they're doing. This is 3rd and 1 for the stop. You're driving driving them off the ball, and then Adeboye's got to get inside and block the inside threat. They leave the inside threat free. They get stopped on 3rd and 1. Could have won the football game. Most turnovers in the CFL, -10. You can't throw this ball with a deep, high halfback sitting here in this space. You can see it right here. Trying to throw it in between. That's going to be picked off 90% of the time. But MTP is a term I like to use. You've got to make the play when the play's there. Deontay Ruffin, now he's not the reason, but this is overtime. They get that takeaway. The Redblacks kick a field goal and should win this game in overtime. So the players, it's a combination. Coaches got to continue to get better and, blame themselves first, and then the players got to make sure they go out, execute, make the plays when the plays come up to them. Those things got to happen. Hey, speaking of great players, look at these two walking in. We got Laura and Nate.
Yeah, watch me break my
game of the week. All right. I am excited to see the.
No, we're fine. I was just joking.
I'm excited to see what happens tonight after the bye week for these Redblacks.
Well, it's time for the game picks, gentlemen, and we won't live in the past, but yesterday didn't work out too well.
Hey, hold on. Can I make it? Who picked the BC Lions to win last night? Nobody. Anybody said they did is lying.
Well, we know for sure it wasn't the four of you that
Maybe the BC Lions picked it, but everybody else did.
Dave, you're on the clock. Who do you like tonight?
I'm going to go Montreal. I think Ottawa can keep this close. I know that's not new, that Ottawa can keep it close, but there's just too many metrics that scream Alouettes for me. I kind of hope I'm wrong for the sake of the schedule and the season, but I'm going Montreal.
Now you sound like you're on the fence a little bit. Okay, Mr. Lapo.
I'm also going to go with the Montreal Alouettes. They don't turn the football over. Ottawa tends to turn the football over. I think that's going to be the difference of the game.
And we are going to make it a clean sweep for a second straight night. Okay. Myself and all of Canada also going with the Alouettes. I don't think Davis Alexander has 2 bad games in a row, and I'm not sure Ottawa is ready for the Tice show just yet. So the Owls took the first meeting of the season in week 4. Will it be more of the same tonight, or will the Redblacks finally break through? We're just moments away from game time.
Big teams, big rings, going back to back like I got wings. It's all in the rest of you. Please do not step to me with all that negative energy. Only want those that can bring out the best in me. Everything else is a mess to me. Let's rock, let's go, let's go, let's rock,
sides of the standings, but don't let that fool you, because when these teams met in week 4, the Redblacks gave the Alouettes all they could handle. Coming off a bye week, Ottawa's hoping it can finally put it all together tonight and get that elusive first win of the season, while Montreal is looking to extend its win streak to 5 and continue its domination of its East Division rival. And with that, a little Friday night football coming your way here on TSN. Laura Dykin joined alongside Dave Naylor as well as Paul LaPolice. The rest of the crew on their way to Edmonton for seems like a pretty important game tomorrow between the Elks and the Riders. But our focus right now is on the Alouettes and the Redblacks. As I mentioned, second meeting of the season and two teams seemingly going in opposite directions. What is your key matchup? What are you watching tonight here, Dave?
My key matchup is Ottawa's offensive line against Montreal's defensive line. I think Jake Maier is a quarterback who can be very accurate with the football when he gets time to throw. He's not a guy who's known to extend plays, throwing on the run, making those kinds of things happen in the backfield. So giving him time is key. In this last game when they played early in the season, Maier was under duress most of the first half. In the second half, they kind of changed. They did some tempo offense, managed to sort of throw the timing off of Montreal, the defensive line a little bit, bought him a little more time, and we saw what Jake Maier could do when he has the time to throw the football. So that is my top matchup for tonight.
Watching how the Montreal Alouettes play offensive football, the key matchup for me is the secondary of the Ottawa Redblacks. Why? Because these receivers are going to get quick screens, they're going to get the balls, they're going to get quick throws out on the perimeter and let them run with it. And this team has struggled in a lot of these categories. You can see they've really struggled defensively, but they are going to have to tackle tonight.
Tackle.
DeMario Houston, Shakir Brown, Deontay Ruffin, Tyson Philpott, Travis Tice, Sneed, Hollins, those guys are going to get a bunch of these wide receiver screens with big offensive linemen trying to run out and knock into them. So they're going to have to be athletic and create some negative yardage plays. The Montreal Alouettes do the best in the CFL of creating second and short situations for their team, for their quarterbacks. Why they got some of the most first downs in the Canadian Football League.
Roughly twice as many yak yards from Montreal as Ottawa in the season.
Got to be careful, otherwise you're going to yak all over you, because they've been yakking all over a lot of teams in the CFL this season. The Montreal Alouettes have won 12 in a row over the Redblacks, dating back to October of 2022. We'll get you back to Ottawa for kickoff next as Week 9 continues.
Big teams, big rings, going back to back like I got wings. It's all in the rest of you. Please do not step to me with all that negative energy. Only want those that can bring out the best in me. Everything else is a mess to me. Let's rock, let's roll, tick-tock, let's go, let's rock, let's roll, tick-tock, let's go, let's rock, let's roll, tick-tock, let's go.
Monica Wendt of Hope, BC. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save On Foods' $1 Million Touchdown to Win. If a kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 are returned for touchdowns, you could win $1 million. We need a winner. Good luck to you, Monica, as we turn things over to Dustin Nielsen and Luke Wilson.
An absolutely beautiful night in the nation's capital as Friday Night Football rolls into TD Place for a tough test for the home team as Ottawa welcomes the first-place Alouettes to town for their second meeting of the season. Montreal won that first meeting of the season and sits at 6-1. The Redblacks have been close, but they haven't found the win column just yet. Once again, all eyes will be on Jake Maier tonight.
Yeah, and go back to the last few games he's played. He certainly played his best football. And I'll also say this, talking to him this week, wants to get the ball out quick, intermediate, quick throws, and use his cadence to be able to kind of get Montreal to tip their hand if they're going to throw the kitchen sink at him, which is something that Noel Thorpe, the defensive coordinator for the Alouettes, likes to do. So I really feel good about that. On the flip side, Dustin, Davis Alexander, boy, is this guy fun to watch. He can do it all. He's running around. He can extend plays. He's got a huge arm. He'll take shots. He'll check it down. I love watching this man play football. He's the ultimate competitor. Buckle up for tonight.
Speaking of ultimate competitors, there's his head coach, Jason Moss. Moss is 16-3 versus Ottawa in his career, and his Alouettes have won 4 in a row. Ryan Dinwiddie struggling to start here with the Redblacks, has lost 11 in a row as a head coach dating back to last season. This is the 5th game at home for the Redblacks this season. They have yet to find a win, but it is a 28-degree night at kickoff. Montreal won the coin toss, will take the ball, and waiting for there Devontae Dedmon, who spent over half a decade with the Redblacks, now here in his second game with the Montreal Alouettes. Ottawa settles in here, hoping to pull off what would be viewed by many as a substantial upset tonight. This will bounce in. Dedmon takes it at the 10. Spins off of one tackle, now another. Stays on his feet, and eventually they'll stop him just short of the 30. And that'll give us our first look at Davis Alexander, 5-0 in his career against Ottawa.
Yeah, he's such a fun player to watch, but one of the things that I really respect about him is when they dial up shots, when his play caller, Anthony Calvillo, dials up shots, if it's not there, he'll still check the ball down. And as an offensive play caller, that's what you want to see, and it allows you to call more shots down the field because you know he's not just going to force into double coverage. So he's also very smart with the football. Again, I love watching this guy play.
He had thrown for 300 in 6 straight games. That streak ended last time also started on the ground. Tice, heavy contacts, gets about 3, maybe 4 yards. Let's take a look at Montreal's starting offense.
Up front, this is a special unit. They're doing everything real well. But Donnie Ventrelli, to me, it's very cool because they'll bump him out and play tight end sometimes and bring Sage Dockstader in. So you want to talk about versatility at right guard. Donnie Ventrelli, hell of a football player. And then Travis Tice. In the last 2 weeks, Dustin, you want to talk about a guy on fire? First in rushing yards, yards after contact, 10+ rushes, first down rushes, and missed tackles for us. There is not a hotter player in the CFL right now.
He is doing it all. 156 on 19 carries and a touchdown against Hamilton. 2nd and 7. Davis, deep drop, looks down the field, near sideline, gets it into the hands of Alexander Hollins, and that'll be a first down for the Alouettes.
Dustin, it's just everything works in unison here, but look at the protection. Davis is just sitting back there chilling. And it's a great throw. It's a big arm throw. It's a nice comeback route. But you're going to hear me talk about this offensive line a lot tonight because plays like this happen. They are an unbelievable unit, and I'm talking all 5 guys. Everyone on this offensive line for Montreal is a tremendous football player.
16 yards to Hollins. Now Davis bouncing around, flush out of the pocket, has a little bit of room, pressure coming. Down the field, wide open, trying to find Philpott, but on the run, he could not connect with him. See Davis say, that's on me.
Yeah, and you're going to watch this here. Davis actually has a screen call to the right, and he just goes off schedule here. So this is what we call scramble rules. So you see Davis look right, they try and pump it. Philpott is bending it, notices, hey, okay, we're on to the next play. It's the play after the play. We got a guy that can go off schedule, my quarterback. That's when they're going to want back because you do practice off-schedule throws.
Philpott almost 200 yards in the Week 4 meeting against Ottawa. Redblacks show a little bit of pressure. They only send 4. Deep drop for Davis. But he's got a man wide open. It's Sneed, and it's a first down as they take it inside the Ottawa 45. That goes for 20 yards.
And Dustin, again, you're going to look at this offensive line, and it's just all day. Davis has such a big arm. Okay, you see him take his drop, wait, sit. We're going to roll a little bit. Like, if you cannot get pressure with the receiving core that Montreal has, this man will destroy you through the air. Doesn't take a hit. Ottawa right away, Will Fields, they've got to dial something up to get him uncomfortable and get him off the spot.
Tice stands in to the left of Alexander. Now he'll flare out. Deep shot, far side, dropping it in there. Philpott steps out of bounds at the 6. A steady dive of Sneed and Philpott. This one goes for 36 yards.
Dustin, so we're going to get here, and you're going to watch Davis. He's going to pump to the left, and it's a slip screen. So we're going to pretend like we're blocking, and then we go right by it. So Davis goes, you heard Paul Appolice say that Montreal loves to do these wide receiver screens. So early on in this game, we fake the wide receiver screen, go over the top. If you're not disciplined as a DB, that's when you get burned right there. Great play call by Anthony Calvillo.
70% in the red zone this year for the Alouettes. Alexander on the run to his right, end zone, touchdown Montreal! Cole Speaker, 2nd of the season, and what a start for the Alouettes.
Dustin, there's just, this offense is so tough to stop. We talked about Travis Tice kind of all last week, and look here, you go play action. This is design of a nut call, an RPO, and Davis Alexander goes through his read. The shallow there by Cole Speaker is actually the third option. You can see the head, just the subtle movements. 1, 2, 3. When it comes to opening up a game, it don't get more clean than that.
That was a near perfect drive as Maltos Diaz will look to give Montreal a 7-0 lead, and that is exactly what he does. How about a 6-play, 81-yard drive to start the game? They won the toss. They said, give us the ball. They drive the field in just over 3 minutes. Davis Alexander, Cole Speaker, Montreal on top. Usually you say it's not how they drew it up, but I think it's pretty much how they drew it up.
Yeah, you said, I mean, 78 passing yards on the opening drive. Come back early, come back there, and then this was, again, you kind of show the bubble screen, Philpott goes deep, and then I love this in the red zone, just a traditional play action. We get to the third read. When you come on your openers and your quarterback is 4 or 5 or 78 yards, and the incompletion was a scramble play, you're feeling pretty good about that.
You got to be feeling pretty good about it. We'll see what type of response Ottawa can find as it goes to Pimpleton. He's a game breaker. He'll take it to the 40. A little bit of a stiff arm and good field position courtesy Pimpleton. And Jake Mayer will try to settle in with this Ottawa offense.
And we're going to see early here, Jake Mayer really wants to get quick intermediate passes, get the ball out of his hand. He said, talking to him this week, it's a strength of his game. They have not protected him well, so that will also slow this defensive line up. And the next thing I'm looking for here today, Dustin, is how, if he can kind of use double cadences, the play clock to his advantage, to get Montreal to tip their hand on what kind of pressure they're bringing.
They'll start on their own 48. Montreal watching as they try to open something up on the ground. And Gray Bell did his best, got a couple yards out of nothing. Let's take a look at this Ottawa offense.
Yeah, up front, this is a unit that just needs to play better. They know it. You know, you come into this thing, they're 9th in rushing yards, they're 9th in yards per carry, and it's not always the offensive line, but at 3.9 yards per carry as a group, they need to be better. And then when it comes to these players right here, Giovanni Robinson, we talk about gap scheme runs, which is what they're trending. That's what they tried on first down. It's his first game, he's going to play tight end. That creates another gap. So look for him to be really involved today in the run game.
2nd and 8 for Mayer. 3 options out to his wide side right. Early movement from Montreal, I believe, and Mayer guns it down just inside the 45. Finds his favorite target, Aiden Eberhardt. This is against the Alouettes.
Defensive offside. Montreal number 91. That penalty is declined. First down.
17 yards to Eberhardt.
Yeah, and you can see here, we call it a 3-step drop, and it's on the first hit. So the ball's out of his hands very, very quickly. Being able to run the football, and you're seeing it here now, just get guys in the box, can open up this intermediate pass game.
1st and 10 from the Montreal 43. Mayer, pressure in his face, gets it away, has a completion. Nice little move, and that's going to be another first down for Ottawa as they push it ahead. And that's great effort there as Hardy gets some help.
So, Dustin, this is what they call that RPO, or the Sally game in the CFL. So you're going to see Jake Mayer basically fake the run here. We put the ball in, and then we've just got a little 2-man combo backside. There's pressure. Jake sees it, executes it well. Again, he does have the option, and Pimpleton fights for some extra yards, gets the first down. Ottawa not backing down early.
This is a great response as Pimpleton gets involved early. Help from fellow receivers. Offensive linemen moving the pile. Mayer lays it out. Near side, that's Keelan White. And Keelan White pushes ahead. 2nd and very manageable coming up. Here's Montreal's defense.
Up front, a very special unit on the defensive side of the ball. But Isaac Adiemi-Berglund right now, he's got 22 QB pressures, tied for 4th in the league. This guy's a game disruptor. I love watching him play. At the middle linebacker position, Jeffrey Cannar-Coup, he's 9th in tackling efficiency. He does a great job. I can tell he's a student of the game, can sniff out a lot of plays. Then Robert Kennedy, he's actually bumping over today due to some injuries, so he's playing boundary half. But this whole unit has been special. They lead the league when it comes to opponent's completion percentage. It's a really nice secondary unit playing at a high level.
Jake Mayer, 3 of 3 to start this drive. Here's Bell, breaks it open, first down. yards on the ground for Greg Bell.
So we talked about gap scheme, but this is just kind of a zone. When we roll this thing, you're going to see the whole offensive line is kind of zoned to the left. So here you go. As much as we are doing gap scheme and implementing it, they still have this zone running. And talking to head coach Ryan Dinwiddie this week, he did say Greg Bell's best run is outside zone. They're just having a hard time moving bodies, so they've put in more gap scheme style runs.
First and 10 from the 12. Mayer looks to his left, throws to his left. And he's got a completion just outside the 5. That one to Hardy, and it goes for 6. Redblacks fans here in attendance got to love what they're seeing in a response here against first place in the East.
Yeah, and this is a very, very talented defensive unit as well. They've made it look methodical going down the field.
And they've come out and answered with as efficient a drive as the one that we saw Montreal lay out to start Friday Night Football. It'll be Bell standing in to the left of his quarterback, Jake Mayer. Started the game 4 for 4. Keelan White now in the slot to the right for Jake. Jake's got some time, takes off on the run, tries to make a move, throws it, incomplete. Might have caught Eberhard a little off guard. And that'll bring up third down.
Dustin, these are the plays, and we'll see how this game unfolds. You know, it's a great job by Montreal as far as covering everything up. Jake goes off schedule, and this is just the difference between winning and losing teams. You know, again, off schedule, you've got it there, and you're, whether Eberhard expected the ball a little into his chest or stopped running, or Jake Mayer's on the wrong, thought process as him. Those inches, the difference between tying this game and being down potentially 4 is such a crucial ordeal.
Brett Lawther is hurt. Lewis Ward is back. 7 seasons with Ottawa. He picks up where he left off, knocks one home there. Ottawa has to settle for 3. That could be trouble when you're going against this guy and the high-flying Montreal Alouettes offense. They lead 7-3 early on Friday Night Football. Davis Alexander, 78 yards and a touchdown to start tonight. Let's flash it back to week 4 against Ottawa. And he was a lot to handle. 345 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, an efficient day as well. And he just understands the offense, Jason Moss, Anthony Calvillo, what they're asking, what they're doing. And that, to me, is when quarterbacks get really dangerous. When they have the ability, which he clearly has, but also they understand conceptually what every play and what every idea that your coach has when you're trying to execute.
Talked to him this week. Gave a lot of credit to actually working a lot with Cody Fajardo, your guy.
Yeah,
early in his career.
Yes, he did.
Davis, time in the pocket again, wide open. Philpott, got to do a better job there. He'll take it to the 40. Now the 30, got a little bit of a block down to the 20. And he's knocked out of bounds. What a start to the game for Tyson Philpott.
Dustin, this is something that Montreal loves to do, is they load the blocks with extra offensive lineman players. You're going to see, look at all of the guys up front here, okay? And then what that does is it forces the defense to play in the box. And although you only have 3 guys out in a row, when you have a route runner like Philpott who can rip, make guys miss, I mean, there you go at the top, ball, ton of separation. That's all you really need. Bring everybody in and let your playmakers like Philpott go eat. Explosive play.
That's 54 yards. He's got 2 catches for 90 yards already in this game. Now they'll give it to Tice. And Ottawa's defense will stop him after a pretty good pickup, though. Here's their D.
Yeah, up front, a guy that's really coming into his own is Mufta Jelly. Listen, this guy, it says he's out of Northwestern Oklahoma State, but he's really a Windsor Lancer.
Of course he is.
He's a Windsor Lancer. And then you got C.J. Rivas. They like Will Fields, defense corner, loves to bring him. He plays a Sam linebacker on blitzes. He's got to really be disruptive today. Shakir Brown out of Michigan State, 8th in the league and lowest completion percentage allowed. Needs to capitalize on some, if he has the ops, on some interceptions today, though.
Empty for Davis here. 4 out to his left, 2 to his right. Throws over the middle. And the tackle is made, but it's still enough for a first down as he gets it into the hands of Sneed for the 2nd time tonight.
You're going to see Sneed right here. And just watch the patience here as we come up. He understands what's going on. He's letting things develop. Shows surface. Again, I always talk about understanding concepts, what you're trying to do to defenders. So when you see him kind of chill off the ball, he's letting that defender get this zone drop so he can slide underneath. Ball's put on his chest. Just like that, it's a first down.
You've got Philpott at the top of your screen, Sneed down at your bottom. He'll give it to Tice. Right up the middle, pushing in, and he's there. Touchdown, Alouettes. Tice has another one. That's 6 games in a row.
Dustin, I know I continue to talk about this unit, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Travis Tice, but I just want you to look at the push that this offensive line gets. Okay, this is goal line. You're expecting guys to be coming downhill. We don't even get tackled. Like, Travis Tice, yeah, he gets stood up there. He doesn't even go to the ground here. The offensive line is just moving bodies up front.
Montreal looks good early. Flag in the distance there. Tice is on an all-time run right now for the Montreal Alouettes.
Illegal substitution, Ottawa number 83. He went out of bounds in the back of the end zone. It is a 10-yard penalty.
Pimpleton stepping out of the back of the end zone on that play. That's why you heard the whistle. 10-yard penalty. They're going to move it up, and there'll just be a closer kick here for Maltos Diaz. He's hit 24-27 this year. And Montreal puts together outstanding back-to-back drives to start this game, and they've got an 11-point lead early in this one, 14-3, 6th touchdown of the season for Travis Tice. Caps off a 4-play, 70-yard drive that took just over 2 minutes. Back there, doesn't it, Lou?
Yeah, we had some elite caloric intake for this one.
A couple of pregame slices of cheesecake here in Ottawa. No complaints. A Friday night football treat, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ottawa responded with a pretty good drive after falling behind 7-0, but had to settle for 3. This will bounce. Adebaboye's got it at the 5. He's got a good burst, too. Cuts it back. And the Alouettes will wrap him up just outside the 25. And Jake Mayer is still looking for that first win as the starting quarterback of the Ottawa Redblacks. We will have more on Jake when we return to TD Place. Well, Ottawa coming into this one off a bye week, and this is how they headed into the bye week. Jake Mayer and the Redblacks losing in overtime. For more on this, let's send it down to Claire Hanna.
Yeah, and Dustin, given that the Redblacks are still searching for their first win of the season, things can get pretty tough. But Jake Mayer says it's all about blocking out the noise. And he was able to do that during the bye week as he went to Arizona to visit his wife, Amanda, who just became a full-time nurse, and his 2-year-old daughter, Everly. Now, Mayer says she's growing so fast, it's bittersweet. Every time he sees her, she's a different human when he gets back home. And she has this habit of calling him, asking if he has any more owies after seeing some of his bruises after a game once. But being a dad has made Mayer more patient with a glass half full type mentality. And speaking of family, McLeod Bethel Thompson isn't here for this game due to family commitments, ones that were planned before he signed with the Redblacks, guys.
Getting away for a week, seeing your family's got to help you settle back in, don't you think? Here's Mayer now, got some time, and he's got a completion for a first down on the near sideline. Goes to Keelan Whites, and that'll move the sticks.
And I really do like what Ryan did when he is building here. So they went double tight there. 2 hand-down tight ends. Showed a little power action. They pulled the guard, and then that allowed. So here you go. You see the 2 tight ends, one here, one there, and then we're going to pull the guard on this play action. As it goes, we roll this thing. Just get everyone to kind of jump up, and then we take a one-on-one option outside. And again, if you're going to put those many guys in the box, the defense has to respect it, Dustin.
Now they'll drop it into the hands of Pimpleton. Pimpleton finds an edge. He's got a first down, a little bit more. Look at Pimpleton go. And he'll take it out close to the Montreal 50.
I I love watching Pimpleton when he's got the ball in his hands. There's a lot of players in this league that are electric, and he's one I don't think is talked about enough. Again, just a little bubble. He did a great job blocking as the wide receivers. And we talk about this Ottawa run game and how it's struggled at times. That is an extension of the run game right there. You're just basically taking the run and moving it outside. Quick bubble. Instead of offensive lineman blocking, you got receivers doing it now.
18 yards on that play for Pimpleton. Right back to him again, pushing it ahead, and it is another first down, 11 yards for Pimpleton, and he's having a very good season so far. Obviously, he's heavily involved in the return game as well. Most combined yards per game across the league.
And again, I think he should be talked about a little more. Look at those other names. Those are all CFL household names right there, and Pimpleton is right there on a great board. I mean, we got the privilege of seeing even McAllister on there. Yeah.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
3 touchdowns in the first half, all in different fashions. Jake Mayer, 7 of 8 to start the game. Ottawa looks to be in business again. Now they'll go on the ground, trying to break a couple of tackles. Good hard run from Greg Bell. Got 4 yards on the play.
And if you're watching this at home, Dustin, it's a 4-yard run, sure. But it keeps the defense balanced. It makes sure they can't, hey, we're just going to put a couple guys up there, maybe play a gap short because we can stop the run. It keeps you in second and manageable, which is where you want to be in this league. If Ryan Dinwiddie and this offense wants to have continued success today, plays like that really matter. I know they might not be the most exciting, but they really matter as far as the overall picture goes for this offense.
It's a 2nd and 6 for Mayer. Alouettes will send 4, drop a couple. Mayer gets it away one-handed. And now they'll touch him. Great effort there from Bell, but it won't be enough, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, and I got to say, you know, I've been tough on him. I was a little tough on him in pregame. This is actually a very nice job protecting. They try and show pressure and only bring 4, and this is not on the offensive line whatsoever. Nice little snag there. We got a 3rd down, and I get why we're going for this right now. The way your defense is playing, Dustin.
You're in a little bit of a shootout here.
The question is, do you run the play action RPO, or do you just go straight drawback? If it's me, I still do a play action here.
3rd and 3 for Mayer. They will run it. Bell pushing ahead. He's got a first down, and Ottawa's offense stays on the field.
Dustin, we talk about gap scheme runs. So here we go. We got great angles, but I want to highlight this guy right here. So you're going to watch him pull. This is Vaccaro, the youngster. Okay, excuse me. It's actually the tackle outside of him. Boom, we kick out. So that's, again, when you say gap scheme, you can get real creative. Generally, it is the guard, but that time
Julian Pearl, yeah.
Yeah, it ends up being the tackle. It's kicking out there. Really nice job up front by this offensive line.
Adebaboye into the game at running back. Montreal's going to bring some heat. Jake gets it away. And it's incomplete. Was looking for Pimpleton. There is a flag back by the quarterback as we hit the end of the first quarter. And this looks as though it's against the Alouettes.
We have roughing the passer, Montreal number 12. It's going to be a full 15-yard, 1 more play in the first quarter. First down.
Najee Murray, the guilty party, as he's plagued for the hit on Jake Mayer.
Dustin, what do you? I get we're protecting quarterbacks. I'm a big Jake Mayer fan, but I don't know what you want him to do. I don't think Jason Moss.
Was there helmet? Was it helmet on? Was helmet on helmet? Maybe.
Perhaps.
We might not have the best look at that there.
To me, that's just a football play, and I get it. You know, you see it in a lot of leagues.
I believe the officials are waiting for more information on this call.
center. The major foul for roughing the passer is upgraded to a grade 2 foul, which is a 25-yard penalty. The ball will be moved up another 10 yards.
Well, Dustin, I'm sitting here saying I'm not even sure that's a penalty, and he's upgraded.
I said we didn't have a great look the first time.
I still don't like it. I do think what happens there is when you get the head that kind of dips down, that's a telltale sign that it's almost targeting.
First and goal from the Montreal 1. Bell stands in to the right of Mary. He's got 4 receivers out to the right. They're going to hand it off. Greg Bell pushing. Does he get there? No. Montreal's defense holds strong.
I mean, this is a massive collision here. I thought this was about to be a walk-in. You see Beverett in there. There's a group of guys.
That will do it for the opening quarter. The Redblacks trailing 14-3 against Davis Alexander and the Alouettes, but they're knocking on the door. Stick around. Friday Night Football continues next. Pretty good first quarter here on Friday Night Football. The Alouettes lead Ottawa 14-3, 140 passing yards, but just 11 rushing yards. That pops off the page for you a little bit.
Yeah, it scares me if I'm a Redblacks fan right now. This is an elite run team in Montreal, and the fact that, hey, now you're kind of naturally playing deeper. We're getting torched through the air. Don't think for 1 minute Jason Moss and Anthony Calvillo won't be like, hey, here's a nice healthy dose of Travis Tice for you behind this offensive line.
It's coming at some point. He's been outstanding and heavily involved. This was a big stop. Still going to be second and goal, though, but
yeah, pretty special play by Alway and Burns to fight through some blocks here and just stuff Greg Bell right at the 1. And we saw this a couple weeks ago against Winnipeg. They need to find a way to score here. They struggle on the 1 yard line.
And now they'll hand it off. Wide open to the end zone. Attaboy. Second touchdown of the season, and the Redblacks are hanging tight with the Alouettes.
Dustin, I love when the big boys all get in a 4-point stance. Look at the offensive line. Look at that leverage. They're just down there, 4-point stance, firing off the ball, putting boys in a meat grinder in there. Hey, we're just going for it. This team struggled again a couple weeks ago against Winnipeg on the 1. They've clearly gone back into the playbook, drawn something up, and we got a ball game here in Ottawa.
Stuffed us on first down. Not this time. And those guys were locked in. Attaboy cuts it out to the right. And now Ward puts the extra point through, and we've got a 4-point game. And it's another good response from Ottawa. 9 plays, 83 yards, just over 4 minutes. You have to like what you've seen from their offense so far.
Absolutely. They're humming right now. And what's fun being here, obviously we're up in the booth right now, but a lot of times what I find the most amazing of football games, and this is a perfect view, you can hear these hits. I know they're not highlight reel, knocking someone's, helmet off style hits, but that was a physical play for 1 yard. And what it does show me is you're in tough right now. You haven't won a game if you're Ottawa. And talking to Ryan Dinwiddie this week, one of the things that he said was that he was really happy. He doesn't think anyone's quit. He said the guys are in a positive spirit. Everyone's still hyped up. And to me, I wonder sometimes, is that coach speak? But when you see that play right there and the effort and the physicality, he's certainly got a point that the boys are still playing hard. They've been in a lot of games, and as it looks right now, they're toe-to-toe with one of the best teams, arguably the best team, arguably, in the league.
There's a few good teams across this league right now. Montreal, of course, just a 1 loss of the year. It did come to Edmonton. Edmonton and Saskatchewan will go at it tomorrow. Since that loss, Montreal has won 4 in a row. And they've been cruising. Although Jason Moss told us this week, satisfied, but I know there's a lot more there.
Yeah, Dustin,
this team.
To me, that's the scary part. Is I think they're nowhere near their potential. They're 6-1.
Ferdinand on the return. He's stripped up just outside the 30.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you in part by The Score Bet, an official gaming partner of the CFL.
Beautiful nights in Ottawa. Offense hanging tough. Redblacks defense, something to be desired thus far. They average almost 36 points against per game, and Davis Alexander has had his way with them so far here tonight. This drive will start on their 33. Alexander steps up in the pocket, drops it in there nicely. Right on the money for Alexander Hollins, up to midfield. And Davis is feeling it early.
Really a similar concept. Okay, once again, you're going to see Donnie Ventrelli is playing tight end, so they're trying to bring defenders in the box. Only have 3 receivers out on routes, but they feel like they can win. If they're going to play tight, try and stop Travis Tice, no problem. We've got the route runners to win, and we've got the quarterback to throw it. We'll do this all day. That's what Anthony Calvillo's daring Will Fields right now, the defensive coordinator, to continue to do.
31 more yards for Alexander. Now looking around, multiple flags on the play. That looks like a face mask. You can tack on another one. 4 flags thrown in the last couple of seconds. And Andre Peru's crew will have some things to sort out here. Both head coaches trying to figure out what's going on here.
I enjoy Ryan Dinwiddie's body language. Doesn't seem, look at him, he's disgusted. I like coaches that show their emotions. That was something I always enjoyed.
No shortage of it with these two guys.
There were 2 fouls on the play. Defensive offside, offensive offside, Montreal number 10. Major foul, face mask, Ottawa 36. We're going to go up 10 yards from the previous line of scrimmage. Automatic first down.
All right, so a couple of penalties to sort out here. There is Sneed. You see him jumping the gun. So that was the first one that was called. Here's the second one.
It's 2 great calls, and I get why Ryan Dinwiddie's upset. You should have a 5-yard loss, potentially a sack, and instead you give up 10 free yards.
First and 10 from the Ottawa 46. Alexander over the middle again. This time Sneed stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, takes it down to the 20 before they stop him.
Hey, there he is right there. Anthony Calvillo, he's cooking right now. They do the same thing again. So they bring in an extra offensive lineman to play right guard. They bump their right guard out, Donnie Ventrelli, 2 tight end. So that's going to bring everyone in, and then they're just running what I call dagger routes, which are deep crosses across the middle of the field. They think they got the guys to win. It's been Philpott, it's been Hollins, and now it's Sneed.
25 yards there. Davis already has 5 completions of 20 yards or more in this game. Now Alexander, deep drop. They'll bring some pressure, gets it away. Almost enough for a first down. Back into the hands of Philpott, his 3rd catch of the game. That'll go for 11 and a first down.
And Dustin, this is not with the extra offensive lineman, but it's a similar concept. They put a tight end, Mason goes down there, and they end up just running these crosser, these deep overs. And when you have a run game, the linebackers have to respect it. So Anthony Calvillo's clearly cooking right now, giving different looks, but running similar style plays. And Ottawa has absolutely no answer.
Philpott already at 100 yards. 3 to the left, 3 out to the right for Alexander. Looks over the middle, throws over the middle, incomplete. Tried to find Sneed, just a tad too low.
Dustin, this is one they're going to want back. They go empty here, clearly something they wanted, and you're going to see Ottawa gets confused here. So we're watching these 2 receivers, just a little twist action, and you see it's a busted coverage wide open. Just not on the same page between roommates Davis Alexander and Sneed.
Just the 2nd incompletion of the game for Alexander. Sneed in the slot to his quarterback's right. Tice will stand in there. Ottawa brings heat. Davis lays it out back in the end zone. Touchdown again. Right back to Cole Speaker. He's got 2. And Montreal's offense unstoppable.
Dustin, what a backbreaker. Will Fields dials up an all-out blitz. They hide it, but you're going to see everyone come up here. Blitz, it's cover 0. Davis Alexander says, I know my winner. You want to go deep, you want to take your matchup. They got so much talent, ends up being Speaker this time. Great win there by him on a one-on-one play.
Cole Speaker targeted 12 times this season, caught every one of them as he gets healthy. Another weapon here for Davis Alexander. And Maltos Diaz knocks it through. Montreal on top, 21-10. 2 passing touchdowns for Davis. 6 plays, 77 yards in just over 3 minutes.
Dustin, I love this here. You're going to see Cole Speaker right here, and what he does, he recognizes that we are running basically a nod over the top. So as he goes, he pushes up here, and as we roll this thing, when I say nod over the top, cover 0, inside leverage. So there it is, boom, boom. And now we're going over the top because in cover 0, there's no help in the middle of the field, and you want the ball to have air. So this is something you practice. Go deep against cover 0. As soon as Davis Alexander sees it, he knows, hey, I got to float this ball a little bit, let Cole Speaker run under it, and he's going to win with that subtle move. Again, inside leverage, nod over the top, balls in the back. That's high execution. That's how you score touchdowns.
Davis Alexander seeing everything so far in this one. 207 yards and a couple of touchdowns already in this half. Here's Pimpleton. Can he provide a special team spark? They'll try to find a bit of room for him. He'll take it just outside the 40 as he comes all the way across the field and finds some decent field position once again for Jake Mayer and Ottawa's offense. We're going to have to try to keep pace tonight with Cole Speaker and the Montreal Alouettes.
And again, I've been over positive with the Alouettes. You just said Cole Speaker. Imagine having to deal with this run game, this offensive line, Philpott, Sneed, and then Cole Speaker says, oh, you want to play me one-on-one? No problem.
I'll take it.
Correct.
Jake Mayer starts on his own 43. And he gets that one into the waiting arms of Geno Lewis. First time tonight we've said his name. Jake started the game 9 of 10.
Yes, and Dustin, if you're a Redblacks fan, this is a guy you want to see. I know it's just an intermediate route. He's going to aim at the outside shoulder, speed cut 1 step. But Geno Lewis is a guy they need to get going, because if he can get this intermediate stuff, get tighter coverage on him. We all know he's a great 50-50 ball catcher. So I'm sure this is a point of emphasis for this offense to get the ball in his hands more often.
His high game this year was just 65 yards. Alouettes will send 5, now 6. Mayer down the field looking for Hardy. Broken up. Beauchemin was there. Najee Murray came to help. And they cannot sneak it through to Hardy.
Dustin, here we go. We're going to watch Hardy. He just comes on a corner out, so he runs up about 10 yards, speed, speed, speed. He takes it inside. You'd like this ball to be flowed a little more. This is one I think Jake's going to want back. See how Hardy kind of has to fight back to the ball? That's one you'd like to just push a little more over the top. Just to throw Jake Mayer probably like back.
Gedman will let it fly from his own 40. Dedmon slides over, and that one will bounce out right at the 14-yard line. And Montreal's offense will have the ball, looking for more when we return to Ottawa on Friday Night Football. Another 100 yards already in this game for Tyson Philpott. And he is chasing history with Alan Pitts, and he has been punching above everybody's weight class so far this year. There's the record. Just over 2,000 yards back at 94. Hung 193 on the Argos. Knocked out the Elks with 120 yards there. We got the Redblacks tonight. 198 against them back in week 4. And then he did it to Calgary as well In week 6, he's having an all-time season, and that is an all-time video game comparison right there.
Yeah, and I'll say this, it is video game numbers. As this graphic continues, I'm looking at it going, wow, wow, and off to an extremely hot start again tonight.
Montreal gets the ball back, 3 touchdowns so far in this one. Quick hitter right into the hands of Hollins. Philpott, the year that he's having, he and Sneed have actually combined for 55% target share from Davis Alexander. And when you develop that chemistry a few years ago and everybody's healthy, it just takes it to another level.
Yeah, and I'll also say this, talking to Davis Alexander, talking to Jason Moss, it's a selfless wide receiver room. You'll see these guys happy for each other. They block a lot. That's when you know you're just really humming. We have class guys like that.
Sean Baker in the game at running back for Montreal here. He gets the touch. This is his 2nd carry of the season. Let's flash it back to week 4, the last time these two teams met. Philpott targeted 13 times, caught 12 of them for 198 yards. It was shocking he didn't have a touchdown in this game.
12 catches on 13 targets, though. As much as you want to score, $198, I'm sure Tyson felt pretty good after this one.
I think it helped. I think it helped. He's up to 940 yards on the season with what he's done tonight. Now here's Sneed, little slip, but he's got a first down right at the Montreal 40.
Dustin, I get it. Ottawa just has no answer. Again, little play action, just freezes the linebackers for a quick second. They're going to come up to fill the run, play their gaps. Here's that in-breaking route. Not super deep this time. You're wrapping around the will linebacker there. It's been unstoppable thus far today against Ottawa.
14 more yards to Sneed. That's his team high, 4th catch of the game. Alexander, ton of time, now on the run, out to his right, drops it in there again, and it's Sneed again. And he'll be taken down around the Ottawa 45, and Davis Alexander is doing whatever he wants. 24 more here.
Dustin, here we go again. Okay, there is your extra offensive lineman playing tight end. It's Donnie Ventrell. You have Mason in there to kind of bring more guys in the box. I know I sound like a broken record. The protection is unbelievable. The protection's unbelievable, and this is still the same play. You have clear outs here, and then that deep dagger underneath. It just hits later here. We had to extend it. Again, it's very similar or the exact same play a lot of these times down the field.
This time they'll hand it off, and that's brought in over the Ottawa 45 with Rashawn Baker. And we talk about the season that Philpott is having. Sneed right there as well. Excellent 1-2 punch. This is what he's on pace for this season.
And coming off of the Tyson Philpott graphic and then seeing these projections, a special unit, a special start to the season for Montreal. It's tough. It's tough to defend, and we're seeing that here tonight.
Montreal cruising on 2nd down so far in this one. Alexander hit as he throws down the field. They go up and get it. It's Philpott again. A magical night for Philpott.
So you're going to see Philpott right here, okay? And as this thing goes, we roll it, okay? We're just going to put our foot in the ground and then bend it inside there, and the ball is thrown a little high, but on target. And I'll say this, Davis Alexander got smoked on this play. There was a little defensive line stunt, and he ate one. He stood in there. Watch his top just Dustin. Boom, here comes a stunt. Boom. Okay. It's not easy to stare that down in the face and make that throw.
Take the hit, make the play. That's exactly what he did there. Alexander steps up this time on the run to his right. Got a little bit of room. He's going to throw it. End zone touchdown. Philpott again, but there's a flag, and this one's coming back on a hold.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Holding Montreal number 59. 10-yard penalty. Will replay first down.
This was a highlight reel play here off schedule, and as we roll it, I didn't see the hold initially. I have a feeling it came by after. Oh no, Dustin. A little bit of a sell job there. I know it looks like a hole, the hands are fine. Any offensive lineman out there is throwing something at the television.
Losing their minds.
I don't know. Oh, that's tough.
Alexander, he might just go right back to the end zone again on the run to his right. Dumps it off, and that one through the hands of the intended target. Looked like it was his running back, Tice. And it'll be 2nd and long.
All right, Dustin, if you're Anthony Calvillo right here, what do you call? I always find this fascinating. 2nd and 20. Do you stay aggressive, and potentially give up the sack? It's going back a little more potentially. Do you throw a wide receiver screen and hope to hit one? To me right now, the way these guys play, the way the Alouettes play, the way this game's going 21-10, I would throw a tunnel screen to a wide receiver and hope that your offensive line and the receivers can block and maybe spring one. But if not, you're settling for 3.
Let's see what they set up here. 4 options out to the left. Trying to get the screen to the running back. That was broken up. Davis isn't happy.
Yeah, Anthony Calvillo and I are on the same page. You want a running back screen? I thought we might go wide receiver screen. And I get it. It's a nice play call. We're just trying to have something happen. And I'm not sure why Davis was so upset here. Just a 4-man rush. And again, the offensive line wants to lose. I think that they're a
little grab on Tice.
Yeah. I think he's got some room to complain there. I get what he's seeing.
Maltos Diaz, 95% on the year. This is a 35-yard attempt. And you knew that was good the moment it left his foot. More points on the board for Montreal, and they lead by 14 on Friday Night Football. While we see what Montreal's offense has been able to do early in this one, this is all about just keeping pace for the Redblacks now.
They've looked good. They've had a good half. I know only 10 points, but hopefully they can muster up something here for Ryan Goodwin's offense.
There, dumps it off. Tackle made immediately on the play by TJ Guy. And it's a loss of 1.
And we talk about extending the run game here. Again, this is just trying to get 3, 4, 5 yards, getting a second and manageable, and it's the kiss of death in this league, especially against a Noel Thorpe-led defense. Because now everything is at Noel Thorpe's hands. Do you want to sit back, drop 8?
He's a madman, isn't he?
He is.
He's got everything going. 3 minutes remaining here in the half. We'll step away. Redblacks trail by 14.
Well, halftime is just around the corner. I have a feeling we'll be talking about that Montreal Alouettes offense. Yeah, how about 4 possessions, 3 touchdowns, and a field goal? Yeah, that Ottawa defense. 3-minute warning as we send it back to Dustin.
Davis Alexander and that offense are talking about 280 yards passing here in the first half. For Davis, he might get the ball back again. And flags fly here as Jake Mayer takes that snap, and this is going to be against Ottawa. No room.
Illegal procedure. Ottawa number 61. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
No room for mistakes like that.
Absolutely not. And you're sitting here, you said keep pace. Davis Alexander's on fire. Your first play is a run game extension where you lose a yard, and then on 2nd and 11, you give another 3-5 yards. And against this defense now, you're sitting at a 2nd and 16. Like, it's bad ball when it comes to stuff like that.
Gino Lewis out to the left for Jake Mayer. Jake with time. Goes to Gino, tries to make something work here, and he's going to be wrapped up short. Got it out just beyond the 45, and Ottawa will be forced to kick this away to the Alouettes once again.
If it wasn't for the False start. That's a first down right there. So, again, when you watch film, Dustin, you come back the next day, you watch, you say, hey, we executed the play. We just don't have that many plays that you can complete on 2nd and 16.
Tough to draw that up.
Tough to draw that up.
Gedman stands on his own 31. He'll kick this to Dedmon on the other side. He'll take it at the 20. And he'll be taken out of bounds against his former team. For more on Montreal's returner, let's send it down to Claire Hanna.
Well, Dustin, usually players take a team bus to the stadium, but Devontae Dedmon told me that he took an Uber because he wanted to be alone. He knew he would be so emotional returning to face his former team for the first time after spending 6 seasons here. He said the first thing he thought of when he got into TD Place was his first kickoff return. Back in 2021, he was wearing 79. He said that was also the year he was Best Special Teams Player of the Year. Now, I asked him what it was like to get released by the organization in the offseason, and he said it's kind of like parents dropping off their kid at college. It's sad that it had to happen, and it was business, and he said he felt like he was going to cry on his first kickoff, guys.
Definitely an emotional night for him. Got to be feel pretty good about what his team is doing tonight, but back in 2021, he was absolutely lights out.
Yeah, and whenever you get these guys that have the ability to just make people miss and they float through defenses or special teams, it's always a fun watch. Look at some of this stuff here, Dustin. It's humming, he's ripping.
3 career punt return touchdowns, 3 career kick return touchdowns here with Ottawa. Now his second game with the Alouettes. Back in his old stomping grounds. Davis Alexander on the run to his right, way back there, and eventually just has to throw it away. And I'll say this, pretty big second down stop for the Redblacks defense.
Massive, massive. This was the stop they needed. And remember, Alouettes won the toss and won the ball. So you're coming out right here and you see the pressure. We bring some heat. Will Fields, okay, and Davis gets flushed a bit. They get off the field. Kind of going into situational football right now. You're going to get this ball back, Jake Maier, with around 2 minutes left. And you can kind of double up scores. You can get right back into this thing. You can put a good drive together.
Zima, first time tonight. Hanks went out there. Pimpleton's going to take it on the run. And he'll find midfield. Just inside the 50, but there are flags on the play. That'd be scary seeing that guy catch the ball with that much speed coming at you.
No yards. Montreal number 42. That penalty's declined. The gain is greater. First down, Ottawa.
Penalty against Richards. Pimpleton, talk about what this guy is capable of. Here he is, week 4. Doesn't need much space. Brilliant stuff from Pimpleton. Involved in the offense as well. They find him right here. Pimpleton pushes it ahead, and he's up to the 30. As far as returners in the league also involved in the offense, nobody's more involved than this guy.
No, watch these sudden moves right here. So, boom, we sit it down, catches it. I mean, he's moving. That looked like a video game right there. Make a man miss, get at the field. He's fired up tonight. They need to finish this drive off.
First and 10 for the Montreal 31. Little sidearm action into Eberhardt. And Eberhardt has it. And that is very close to another first down. Looks like they might just be inches short. We'll see where this ball is placed down. And it will be second and less than a yard here. Jake Maier pushing it ahead. Did not need much. That is definitely enough. And Ottawa, something cooking here with just over 90 seconds left in the half.
It's absolutely, Dustin. Here's some of the things I like looking at right now. And I get it's a 20-second play clock. But do you bleed the clock? Do you start playing that, hey, we don't want to score. If we score in this play, great. But if it ends up being 3-4 plays, we basically bleed the clock. Or are we still in that up-tempo mode? So as we blow it in there, you can see they're in a full huddle. Just getting out. Looks like they're going to start bleeding this clock. I look for it to be snapped around 4 seconds. That's kind of the sweet spot.
Jake Mayer, 13 of 15 so far in this game. Alouettes will send 4, gets it away, wide open. It's Everhart, and he's got it down inside the 10, and that's another first down for the Redblacks. This one goes for 12.
Great blitz pickup here. It's White, and then we just replace the blitzer with the ball, and now, if I'm Ryan Dinwiddie, I actually send the play in even later, just so the operation doesn't feel weird in the huddle. But let's try and bleed. Every second matters here. Every second matters. Let's bleed this thing down. This is situational ball.
Greg Bell stands in to the right of Jake Mayer. Jake looks to his right. That's where he's going to throw. Has Hardy. A little bit of a bubble. Trying to push it ahead. They'll hang on to him. Still going. Almost got there. Down to the 1.
And I have lost a major football game on the 1-yard line, so it's not perfect.
Really?
But, I will say this. Theoretically speaking right now, this was actually a dream play. The way Davis Alexander is playing, again, if I'm Ryan Dinwiddie right now, I'm going to bleed this thing down. I'd get the play call in later, just so the guys aren't wondering what's going on. I would wait. I'd hold the play call in. We got 2 plays to get in from the 2-yard line. Let this thing settle down so that Montreal does not have enough time to get anything going.
Jake Mayer up under center. Adam Boboye in behind him. They'll give it to him. Adam Boboye denied. Ball pops out. Montreal's on it, and they take it away. Oh, disaster for the Redblacks as Burns comes up with it. Beverett involved as well.
Dustin, it's the bad news Bears. I'm telling you, doing everything perfect. You can't make this up. You're looking at potentially a double score here, or at least a chance at a double score. You score here and get the ball back, and it's an unbelievable rip.
Beverett,
that's the rip right there. Poor ball security.
Just went in and got it.
That's what they say when you get in there. The new thing they're teaching is 5 points of contact. Noel Dorm's fired up. You put the hand on the wrist.
The previous play is under further review by the replay center.
We've been told that they're looking to see if forward progress had stopped before the ball was stripped out.
I mean, that's a whistle thing, but again, if you're a Redblacks fan, I'm going to go back to 2 weeks. I hate to bring it up, but I believe they had multiple chances on the 1-yard line against Winnipeg in that game. And then you're back down here again. It's 2nd and goal from the 2 on the 2. Let's see, Dustin. What do you think?
I don't know. Let's take another look at it. We'll give you some full speed looks here. Moving ahead, stop there, push back a bit. I don't know. I mean, it all kind of sort of. It seems like it's pretty fluid, but he had been stopped forward and then was being pushed back ever so slightly.
Yeah, I always thought it's whenever the whistle is. I mean, his forward progress is stopped, but it's a matter of did they blow it for me. This will be really fast.
They're almost looking at the point where the whistle should have gone.
Yes.
Let's get the ruling here.
Upon further review by the replay center, the ball carrier forward progress was stopped at the 2-yard line. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. It will be 3rd down.
Beverett can't believe it. And it'll be 3rd down from the 2. It all happens so quickly in there, you know? I could see why Montreal fans right now would be livid.
If I was a Montreal fan, I would also be livid. I'd be very upset with that call, especially have enough to overturn it. I do see what the replay center's saying, but that's pretty close right there.
It's another lease on life here for the Redblacks.
Dustin, what do you call here? 3rd and goal at the half. You're on the 2.
They've been stumped again?
I don't think so. I think you line up in a heavy package. I think you do show run to some degree, but we either move Jake out of the pocket, we're throwing.
Look for a go. 3rd and 2 from the gun here on Friday Night Football. Montreal moves early, and we've got whistles. Pimpleton into the end zone, but who is this going to be on? Did Montreal get drawn off by early movement on Ottawa? Is it the right tackle on Ottawa? Who's to blame here? Discussion from the officials. What a weird ending to the first half. Julian Pearl, the right tackle.
Illegal procedure. Ottawa number 54. This is a 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
Dustin, I use the term, like we used to say this all the time, that's bad ball, that's bad ball. In a moment like that, in this unit, the offensive line has played well today, but you're at home, you should have no noise problems.
They're going to settle for a field goal now.
It's just bad ball right there. That cannot happen at this level.
Lewis Ward hit from 13 earlier. This one from 14. And he puts it through. You likely aren't going to win football games with 13 and 14-yard field goals. Lots to discuss here at halftime. Laura, Lapo, Dave Naylor, as Kate and the other guys on the way to Edmonton for a big one tomorrow. But boy, do they have some things to discuss here. Jake Mayer is 15 of 17 for 156 yards.
Yes.
And I don't know if you can't hang any of this on him.
No, he's been awesome. He's been, to me, he's been the second best player on the field tonight behind Davis Alexander.
Yeah.
You know, he's thrown the ball accurately. He's thrown the ball well and on time. And I get that body language right there, because there's just no world where this game should be this far apart. Ottawa continues to shoot themselves in the foot with simple things.
They've been close a few times, but it's these small mistakes that have cost the Redblacks so far this season. And it's those same mistakes that have cost them so far tonight in this one. And they're playing against a team in which you can't afford to make any mistakes against. Jake Mayer looking for answers as he heads to the room. What a half for Davis Alexander, Sneed, Philpott, and this man, Cole Speaker, playing in just his 4th game of the season. He's got a couple of touchdowns, and this one gives him 3 on the year, and he's standing by with our Claire Hanna.
Cole, you guys start this game out with a near perfect drive. You finish that with a touchdown. You got a second touchdown in this first half. How would you describe the cohesion your offense has?
Yeah, we're just all playing together, playing 12 guys together. The whole line's doing great to give Davis time back there, and you know 10's going to find us downfield. So got a lot of guys stepping up. Everyone's making plays. Everyone's touching the ball. It's a lot of fun.
Since your return from injury, you've been targeted 12 times. You have 12 catches. How did that time off motivate you?
Yeah, just gave me an extra 6 weeks to get ready and just fine-tune my craft, get my body healthy for this second half push of the season.
Thank you, Cole.
Awesome. Thank you. Merci.
All right, Laura, back to you.
And it's Cole Speaker with the second multi-touchdown game of his career. And this is Bud Light at the half. And boy, does that Montreal Alouettes offense look scary once again. An off week last week, kicking it right back into high gear here in this first half. Dave Naylor, though, we need to discuss how the whole sequence ended there in the half for the Ottawa Redblacks. Just kind of a microcosm of how their season has been, because they continue to shoot themselves in the foot at the worst moments possible.
The red zone has been a nightmare for Ottawa this season. Particularly feels like when they're inside the 10-yard line. You can almost just feel the anticipation that, or inside the 5, is something that's going to go wrong here. I mean, they catch a break on this one when Alouettes gets stripped by Tyrese Beverette, and this is kind of nightmare territory if you've been watching the Redblacks this season, because it feels like, I say, as the Lapo says, inside the 5 is the disaster zone, never mind the red zone. And, you know, then they get another shot at it, but here you go again. You got an offside call on the right tackle. This is a new right tackle that they're playing. But you're going in the wrong direction. You're pulling points off the board. And with a team with a margin of error like Ottawa, you can't. Look, here's something interesting about this game. Both quarterbacks have 15 completions in the first half. One of them for 156, the other one for 287. And Lapo, we know the 2 stats that correlate to wins more than any in football: winning the turnover battle, explosive plays. Pass completions over 20 yards in the first half for Montreal, 7. For Ottawa, 0. You see that receiver screen they tried there. The one deep pass they throw, this is the only one of the first half. It's into double coverage, incomplete. It's hard when Jake has to be this efficient. He's averaging 10 yards to throw. Davis Alexander's averaging almost 20 yards to throw.
Yeah, and I love what the Montreal Alouettes have done. 287 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. I'm going to walk to the big backboard. All right, I'm going to show you a couple of things. Why Montreal can get these deep shots downfield, it's because of their protection. When you watch this football team the last couple of weeks, they've been able to, watch this, Tice right here, boom! What? This is what you call a chip. And he knocks the defensive end so he can't get the pass rush. This team protects their quarterback. 3 guys in for protection. Watch these blocks. These aren't clean blocks, but it's enough to get the throw downfield to the wide open Philpott. You got to get somebody to cover him over there. Now, watch this. You get a double team here on the end. Tice is right there to get another help to clean the pocket for his quarterback for another great throw. That time, I think that one's to Hollins. And watch this. Double team on the outside. Pull the guard to help out the tackle so you create a clean pocket once again. This is why Montreal's successful. It's a combination of quick throws, get the screen game going like you've seen, and then the next thing that's going to happen is as they're doing that, we're going to get max protection, and we're going to take a shot downfield. That's what these guys are great at up front.
Looked very, very easy in that first half. Speaking of easy, it is the Bud Light easy call. And we mentioned that Tyson Philpott, 161 yards coming into this game, shy of his first 1,000-yard season. Well, he's at 135 now at the break, and it doesn't get much easier than that. Wide open. The last guy you want to have that wide open. That was a 54-yard gain for Philpott, led to a Travis Tice touchdown. Of course, he had that touchdown nullified in the first half as well. A big opening half for those Montreal Alouettes. When we come back and our halftime continues, we'll start to look ahead to that big game in Edmonton tomorrow between the Elks and the Riders.
Do it big, how we do it. Do it big, what we doing. Do it big, nothing to it when we move it. How we do it. Do it big, how we do it. Do it big, what we doing. Do it big, nothing to it when we move it. How we do it. Do it big, big, big. How we do it. Do it big, big, big.
Doubleheader Saturday coming your way. First stop, Hamilton for the Stamps and Ticats, a pair of 3 and 14s. Vernon Adams Jr. again has not thrown an interception yet this season. And then the main event, the Riders and the Elks in Edmonton. At this time last season, Edmonton was 1-6. Flipping the script this time around, and that game on Thursday night that kicked off Week 8 in the CFL was absolutely fantastic. Combined for 70 points, almost 900 passing yards. It was back and forth affair. And then who would have thought Vincent Blanchard, 57-yard field goal to end it. So we've got the rematch coming up here. Can we expect more of the same, gentlemen?
I sure hope so, because that's the best football game I've seen in a long time. 5 receivers with over 80 yards. And I just love the Cody Fajardo narrative, going back into Sask and playing like that. I mean, you know, has his job taken away in Sask, gets moved out of the way, understandably, for Davis Alexander in Montreal. Doesn't go to Edmonton and starts on the bench. And this year he marches back into Saskatchewan and puts on that performance late in the game. I mean, all game was fantastic, but his fourth quarter performance among the career best for him.
Yeah, 510 yards, 4 touchdowns, amazing. You know, and I think for the Riders had a tough week the week before. You know, I think their energy, their focus is going to be really like, hey, we've had a week to prepare. Let's go back and get. They had a lot of things going on in the background went on the week before. They're in a good position now to go, hey, let's get some retribution on what happened last week. Hey, I'm interested in the Edmonton Elks. Rankin once again, 39 yards.
Yeah.
He's such a great player. I want to see how the Elks are trying to get him touches and go. 3.3 yards average last week against that Rider run defense. So
Defense was very optional in last week's game.
You mentioned Edmonton's start. If I'm an Ottawa fan, Edmonton is my inspiration. That's
Edmonton, let's get over 30,000, please.
Yep, not sold out just yet, but they opened up the Upper Bowl at Commonwealth earlier today. So, yeah, we'll see. They'll pack the stands for that one because it should be a good one. Meanwhile, back in Ottawa, the Redblacks have some work to do. A lot of work to do if they're going to get their first win of the year.
Beautiful Friday night in Ottawa, especially if you're an Alouettes fan, as they lead 24-13. Davis Alexander, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns in the half. CJ Rivas of Redblacks defense standing by with Claire Hanna.
CJ, your guys' defense improved in that second quarter. How do you put more pressure and slow down Davis Alexander?
I think just keep him in the pocket. You know, he's a better quarterback when he gets outside the pocket to go run around. So keep him in the pocket, be good in our sound techniques, and just play hard, play fast, man.
The last time you guys played the Alouettes, you put up a lot of points in the second half, made it a close game. How do you do that again?
I think it's about playing our techniques and doing our jobs. 1 to 12, every man do their job, and we should be all right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, they can try to keep him in the pocket, but he's torched him from the pocket so far tonight as well. I don't know what the answer is to slow down Davis Alexander.
Yeah, to me, you somehow got to manipulate a way to get pressure. Because, like you said, when he's sitting in the pocket, he's got such a big arm. There's just not much you can do. Or you could just have Jake Mayer kind of run and gun with him. Which right now, he's hanging around in there.
Ottawa will have the ball to start the second half, and we are underway with Adam Aboye. Takes it up to the 30. Bullies his way up to the 40. Let's take a look at Jake Mayer's first half tonight. They come in trailing by 11, but he's 15 of 17 for 156 yards.
Yeah, when you're watching these, look at the ball getting out on time. Again, talking to Jake this week, he said, hey, my strength is short, intermediate throws, timing. And you can see this. Every one of these things, drop back, back foot, falls out. It's accurate. He's been on point. The eyes look good. He's seeing it well. He's throwing it better. Needs a big second half. They want to win this game.
Pimpleton, his favorite target in the first half, had 4 catches for just over 60 yards. And they'll get it to Pimpleton to start here. He's going to be wrapped up and hammered back down. Green was waiting for him, and he finished the job.
Frustrating, very frustrating if you're an Ottawa offensive player. What they're doing is they're trying to create ways on first down to get in second and medium, and it just gets snuffed out immediately. The sweep to Pimpleton, tremendous play.
Beverett was all over it.
Beverett came from deep to make that play and blow it up.
Loss of yards, 2nd and 11. Alouettes show 5. There's a flag. Mayer dumps it off, one-handed by Bell. He's going to push it ahead. He's got enough. Very close to what should be a first down. I believe this penalty will be against the Alouettes.
Defensive offside, Montreal. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
I think it was Mustafa Johnson.
Yeah,
jumped.
Johnson jumps. You're going to see him right here. Boom. Little cadence work. Got him. Nice catch by Greg Bell. Plucked that bad boy with one hand.
Made it look easy, didn't he?
That's it.
Thank you. Aboye stands in to the right of Mayer. Jake looks to his right, nothing there. Hit as he throws. Has a completion to Everhart. Broke one tackle, now another. And he's up to the Montreal 45. 15 yards. Dave Everhart.
does a decent job on the offensive line here. Noel Thorpe dials up a bit of a weird pressure. You're going to see guys kind of looping, moving around. They're coming in, they're coming out, and then you're going to watch Jake go through his reads here. So, hey, there's the pressure. Again, blocked up pretty well. Jake gets spooked a little bit. Gets back to his third, maybe in his fourth read there. Finds Aiden Eberhardt. Good play.
Eberhardt averaging over 120 yards in his last 2 games. Now they'll get it into the belly of Adeboboye, and he pushes it ahead for 3 yards. It's been an excellent pickup. Aiden Eberhardt so far this year, the former BC Lion, has come in here, leads the team in receiving yards, leads the team in yak yards, contested catches, and deep shots 30+ down the field.
And when you have a guy that you can focus on the contested catches, you know, first in the CFL, he's tied for first, like 10 of 15, I believe. This guy just develop trust with your quarterback. Hey, when I'm in a panic, kind of like that, find Aiden, get him the ball, hope he makes a play.
Eberhardt out to the right for Mayer. He's going to look on the other side, and Lewis hangs on to it. Gavianento had a bead on that, but Gino goes and gets it.
Dustin, when you watch this here, I want you to see, if you're a young receiver at home, watch Gino Lewis. He's going to run a comeback. So as we roll it, watch him continue to come back to the ball. This is the difference between a big completion and a pick six. So it doesn't just stop. So he fights back and just is able to shield off Ento. That subtle detail, though, saves his quarterback from a pick six to a explosive play.
Greg Bell back in the game at running back. Hardy in the slot to the right for Jake Mayer. 3 options out to the left. Jake's going to look down the field. Gino Lewis, too much. Never had a crack at it.
This is going to be a tough one for Gino. We're just kind of singing his praise. He's not on the same page because he's going to end up stopping here. You see, he runs and then he just kind of chills, and the ball is thrown deeper. Don't think he was expecting Jake to kind of take that shot, and that's why it looks like such a deep overthrow. Jake Mayer decided, hey, I got a 50-50 guy, just got to catch. Let's give him a shot here, and Gino wasn't prepped for it.
4th target of the game for Lewis, who moves to the top of your screen. 3 options, wide side right for Mayer. Steps up, dumps it off to his running back. Bell tries to push it through a hole, but he'll be stopped at the Montreal 22, a couple yards short of a first down. And it looks like they're going to leave Jake Mayer out there this time. Or they're thinking about it. There's an injured Alouette down on the field just inside the 25. That's Najee Murray.
Dustin, this will be a very fascinating play call for Ryan Dinwiddie if he does not take the points.
First of all, let's start there. Would you go for it?
I would not at this moment, just because of how poorly your team has executed on short yardage, specifically at the goal line. No, we're not at the goal line, but also get within 1 possession. Get within 1 possession, kick the field goal. You never know what can happen.
We'll see what they do when we return. We will step away from TD Place on Friday Night Football. Najee Murray is up and off to the Montreal sideline. Let's give you another look at what happened to him.
That head ducks, it's always a bit scary. When you kind of get the head down, and again, scary kind of moments for me.
All right, a huge 3rd down here. 3rd and 3. Jake Mayer, Hardy, and Gino Lewis out to his left. Looks to his right, pressure comes, gets it away, and he's got a man down to the 5, pushing it ahead, and he'll be stopped at the 3 as he gets it into the arms of Hardy.
I want you to watch right up top here. We got a free hitter. So as this thing comes in, Jake Mayer sees it. Boom. We're sliding right. He knows he's got to get the ball off. He's hot. And he sits in there and delivers a great strike. He's got a nice matchup with Hardy, kind of on an in-breaking route. Wait, you want to talk about toughness and grit? Jake Mayer right there to show both.
Can they find a way to finish it? Mayer, keeper, in trouble, and he's taken down. A play that goes nowhere on first down.
It's the bad news Bears down here right now. They can't block it upright. again, everyone's on the line, so you should be able to figure this thing out. And you've got Canton Arku, who's, again, I know he's a MAC linebacker, but he's sitting on the line untouched. That's not how you draw it up. And I get why he's yelling right there. You don't draw up not blocking him like Mike linebacker who's sitting on the line. So frustrating to watch.
Second and goal from the Alouette 5. Mayer looks to his right. Nothing there. Now goes over the middle. Broken up. Was looking for Hardy. Beveretts in the mix there defensively.
Dustin, it looks like they're going again. They went for it on third down earlier. They're going again here. They're done settling for field goals. I like it.
You have to.
Yeah, I get it. The way your defense has played against Davis Alexander, we're going for touchdowns. What a moment. If I'm Ryan Dinwiddie right now, I've got 2 plays called in the huddle. Or potentially alert. I'm looking to see if it's man coverage or zone. And if it's man, some sort of rub or pick action. And it looks like man.
Third and goal from the Montreal 5. Mayer with pressure in his face. Gets it away. Taken away. Alouettes defense does it again. Joshua Archibald picks him off just outside the end zone. And Ottawa's offense continues to stall. Mayer hammered. Turnover. Montreal gets the job done.
Dustin, this is fundamentally unsound football. I want you to look here. That's Najee Murray. He's back in. He's on the line of scrimmage. If you're not going to block him, you need to have a hot route or something built in. So either there's an ME, a mental error on the offensive line, or the play design is faulted by design, which I highly doubt that was it. So once again, in a moment of need, on 3rd and 5, someone on this team has made a mental error, which has cost them points. And you can blame Jake Mayer all you want, but when Najee Murray lines up on the ball, Dustin, it comes untouched. What do you want the man to do?
On the ground here with Tice. Just back to Ottawa here for a second. Ottawa has got to the Montreal 6, the Montreal 2, and then the Montreal 2 again. And they had to settle for field goal, interception.
Dustin, as an ex-offensive player, it's my hair. I'm pulling my hair out here. And again, that was, Noel Thorpe is known for complicated looks. That was not complicated. You have a linebacker on the ball, you either account for him in your pass, bro, or you throw hot off of him. This is day one stuff that they can't execute on the 5-yard line.
Second and short. Alexander over the middle. Sneed cuts it back, and here goes Tyler Sneed. They'll find the 50. They'll try to track him down from behind. Bounces off a tackle, and they trip him up just past midfield. He was thinking house call. Davis Alexander well beyond 300 yards. Sneed joins Philpott in the 100-yard category, and they're doing whatever they want.
And once again, it's a broken record. You're bringing the extra offensive lineman, it's Sage Stockstater. You got Ventrelli playing tight end. You got Mason playing a second tight end. You bring everyone to the box, and you say, oh, you guys want to play one-on-one coverage or Sneed? No problem. Here's an in-breaker. Here's the ball out on time, and here's a massive completion.
48 more yards to Sneed, who's basically just been running over the middle of the field, open all night.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Alexander this time. They'll get it to Philpott, turns it on the far side of the field, a little bit of room, sidesteps one tackle, and he's got a first down. What a move from Tyson Philpott, 16 more yards.
Dustin, it's like an artist, Anthony Calvillo. So, hey, we go deep, and now all of a sudden you see Tyson Philpott here. Just a wide receiver screen. Again, you see Ventrelli come out there. Shanks is out there. Wasn't quite my, Bulls on parade moment for the O-line, but the big bodies are out there moving people. And then Philpott, you can't tackle him, makes a man miss, gets a bunch of extra yak.
Philpott about 10 yards away from a 1,000-yard season. And we're in week 9. This time they'll give it to Tice. Haven't needed him much tonight. He's going to push it ahead. A little bit of help looking for a first down. Might be stopped just short, about a yard.
And again, Dustin, you talk about oh, why don't they just adjust to the pass game? Because then, as soon as you start playing a little soft and not respecting the run, here's Travis Tice for you.
Yeah.
Here's Travis Tice on first down for a nice 9-yard run that, quite frankly, is starting to look like it might break for a lot more than that.
Terry Wilson into the game. Pushing it ahead, short yardage, breaks a tackle down to the 20. That would have been an absolute backbreaker if he took that one to the end zone. Goes for 9 on the short yardage sneak. Montreal marching on here against Ottawa. Injured Redblack down just inside the 15. That is Shakir Brown. And as they take a look at him, we will step away as Montreal looks for more on Friday Night Football. Well, it's been incredible watching the Alouettes offense go to work tonight. Davis Alexander's at 351 yards midway through the third quarter. Sneed, Philpott, both well over 130 yards. Speaker, a couple of touchdowns. Everybody involved. First and 10 from the Ottawa 19. Alexander, Sneed, finds a little bit of space. Touchdown, Montreal. They cannot and will not be stopped. 19 yards. Sneed's got his 5th of the season.
Dustin, I've been singing his praises all night, but Anthony Calvillo, again, watch all the pressure. You see everyone coming for Ottawa. What's the perfect play call against a blitz or against an exotic pressure? A little wide receiver screen, but what was unique about that was it's actually in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Take the tunnel screen and move it inside. Really well executed play.
.370 passing yards for Alexander, 18 of 23 on the night. Altos Diaz knocks it through, and safe to say Montreal at 6-1 on the campaign, in full control here, up 31-13, capping off a 6-play 109-yard drive that took just over 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Look at Anthony Calvillo right here. Guy's cool, calm, collective. If I called a play call like that worked as well as that play, I'd be throwing stuff, I'd be celebrating. He looks like his heart rate's sitting at...
You know what he's thinking about? The next play, Luke.
Yes,
he's thinking about the next play.
He's locked in. Now, I'll say this about Tyler Sneed right here. So you're going to watch him. Here he is right here. Okay. There's not a lot of guys that can be this comfortable going inside. So they got a tight split. So we patience, patience, patience. He's letting the defense come up the field. And then the timing is perfect. The accuracy, again, the O-line gets out. But why I say what's cool about it is that if you're a split second off there, or somebody from the Redblacks defense snuffs that out, you're getting tattooed. So it does speak volumes that they pick Sneed as the guy to go in there, because he's fearless, he's tough, he's gritty, and he's patient. Again, you watch him there. He settles, lets everybody blitz, the pressure go. His wide receivers clear out for him, finds the crease. Nice touchdown, great play call, great execution.
Short kick here. It will be taken cleanly at the 35, but really nowhere to go. Well, do you think you've got the leg for it? Old Dutch Foods is giving one fan the chance to win $500,000 of this year's CFL West Final. Visit kicktowincontest.ca. That's kicktowincontest.ca to enter.
Dustin, you know, this week talking with Ryan Dinwiddie, you know, one of the sayings I can't stand is like, oh, this team needs to learn how to win. He brought up a saying and said, and I totally agree with him, it's actually learn how not to lose. You know, we used to talk in the NFL all the time that more games are lost than won, and it is the same across all football leagues. And on the flip side, you look at the 6-1 Montreal Alouettes, and just little things, teams that know how not to lose. What did they just do? They popped the kick up because they got 18-point lead. There's under 20 minutes of gameplay left, and they say, how can we potentially get burned? By kicking to Pimpleton.
Yeah.
So you know what we're going to do by not losing? We'll give up a little field position to make sure we don't get burned on a big play by a dynamic player in Pimpleton. Hey, I think we just heard Davis Alexander say, he said good play caller. He might have used some different words.
Yeah.
Hey.
That was probably your best kind of
Emerick Boutin is down, and they're continuing to look at him. Got that. Oh, well, they don't want to see that. Had that left leg rolled up on. He's actually up and walking off on his own, which I'm a little surprised by after seeing that replay.
Yeah, that's very encouraging right there. Limping, but looks good compared to what that replay was. Shouldn't say looks good, but looks better than we thought.
Looks much better than, than it possibly could have been. So now Ottawa. They've moved the ball tonight, but they've been stopped on the Montreal 6, the Montreal 2, and the Montreal 2, having settled for 6 points when they had the ball in the 6-2 and 2. So they moved it. They just simply cannot finish. We'll see if Jake can move it here once again. Mayer starts with Bell to his left. Bell trying to pick up a little bit of pressure. Mayer goes over the middle, midfield, and he's got a completion to Justin Hardy. It'll go for 13.
A little exotic pressure by Noel Thorpe. Picked up well by this offensive line. Great throw by Jake Mayer. I don't think we'll see much quit in this Ottawa team. As much as it's been a tough season, I definitely expect them to keep fighting here.
They scored 29 points in the second half against this Montreal team back in week 4. Right over the middle again. That time, it's the big tight end, Robinson, with his first catch as a member of the Redblacks. Little smirk there for...
You know, that was a hand down tight end, sit right over the ball. We're talking old school.
You like it?
Old school football. This will be a fascinating play call. Wouldn't surprise me if they actually hand the ball off here. Montreal's been playing a little bit off, a little softer. We'll see.
Montreal, some last-minute adjustments there. They send for. Mayer gets it away, well thrown, and into the arms of Hardy on the far side of the field. Another first down for Ottawa.
Pre-snap, Jake Mayer's awesome here, and Hardy runs a nice speed out. So here he comes. He's going to push up here. He's got inside leverage. I say speed because watch at the top. Okay, it's real 1 foot. So you see a 1 foot cut. That's your speed route. 2 feet, that's more of a square cut. So when you have leverage, you want to stay with speed. Jake Mayer takes his drop back, saw what's going on pre-snap. Really well executed.
Not much Murray can do there.
No, no. By design, he's at a disadvantage.
Now they'll work for the Montreal 36. Montreal only sends 3. And that one is gunned into the waiting arms of Keelan White. And it'll be a second and manageable here for Ottawa after a pickup of 6. Hardy so far tonight, 5 more catches for 57 yards and continues to sit third in franchise history behind Gabriel and Sinopoli. Mayer needs 4 more. White reaches down for it. And we're going to see where this ball is spotted. Close to a first down, might be just short.
Dustin, sometimes you just got to appreciate the athleticism. I mean, look at this catch. The ball is ripped. Okay, he plucks this thing. Like, that is not easy. I know, oh man, he's a professional. He should make those. To be running that fast, the angle there, drop the hands below the waist. Really nice job by White.
Now Bryson Barnes into the game, short yardage, 3rd and 1. Can he find a way through? Looks like he does. Easily got to the 25. They only needed the 26. And it's interesting because they've been in some 3rd and short situations. We haven't seen Barnes so far tonight.
Yeah, and even Barnes coming out there, your stomach starts turning right now. Like how, and it's terrible for me to say, but you just think, how are they going to mess this up?
Yeah.
They've done the hard stuff really well. And they've done the easy stuff horrible.
I should say it's not just the story of the night. Story of the season for a Ottawa team that's lost by 2 points twice. Had a game that got stopped when they got stuffed. When they were going up against the Riders, that was a winnable game that they ended up losing by 5 as Mustafa Johnson gets helped off the field here. And as Luke mentioned earlier, find ways not to lose. And Ottawa just hasn't been able to do that just yet. The only team that started 0-6 and made the playoffs, BC Lions, back in 1969.
It's a long time ago.
Long time ago. There has time. As his running back Bell, who gets drugged back on the play. Green with the tackle. Green getting the start on late notice as Wesley Sutton, after warm-ups, could not go. Jamon Green, first year out of Michigan. You're always ready, though, right?
Yeah, you're always ready. Student of the game, got to be plugged in.
In that Montreal secondary, as they look to stop Jake Mayer on his 2nd and 6 from the Alouette 21. 3 on the line. He'll send 4. Dumping it off to Bell. Gonna have to make a man miss. He does. Good burst. Heavy collision just inside the 15, but it's a first down for Ottawa.
Greg Bell is a real nice sudden burst. Kind of can slow the game down, wait for guys to overcommit, and then boom, put his foot in the ground, make a man miss. Fun to watch.
To the sideline here, so Adeboboye will check back into the game. Time ticks down here in the 3rd quarter. Redblacks got to find some points. Pressure coming. Mayer gets it away. Tackle made at the 5. Had Hardy with a step on Green, but Green was able to wrap him up. And that brings us down to double zeros here in the 3rd quarter as the Redblacks, as they've done many times tonight, knock it on the door. Alouettes refusing to open up. And they lead 31-13. 3 quarters in the books. Friday Night Football at TD Place in Ottawa. Montreal Alouettes looking to go to 7-1 in the year. They lead 31-13. Redblacks are losing, but you like that 283 from Jake Mayer there.
Yeah, and I know I'm singing his praises a lot, Dustin, but 283 yards going into the 4th quarter. The interception was not on him. It's a 3rd down. He's trying to make something happen, and they can't protect. You got no help in the run game. I think 27 total yards, bad yards per carry. This guy is fighting for his life out here right now, and he's doing a pretty good job. You know, it's just so frustrating if you're an Ottawa fan because you got a really talented receiving room. You have a quarterback that has continued to get better and better every single week. You just can't finish drives. Can't run the ball and you can't finish drives.
Since the interception, Jake's completed 8 in a row. Back-to-back 10-play drives here for Ottawa, but can they find the end zone? Crowd here would love it. 2nd and inches. Mayer gets it out to White, cuts it back in. I don't even know if he got what they needed for the first down. It stopped short. 3rd and inches.
Dustin, I can't watch. I got to turn away. I get what they're trying to do here. Just get the 2nd and inches. They struggled. You're kind of hoping Keelan White could make a man miss there.
So 3rd and inches. They brought in Bryson Barnes early on this drive.
Yes.
He's not going to be in there now, and they are going to give us a 3rd and 1 from the gun, somewhere the rec laws are pointing at the screen right now. They hand it off, nowhere to go, and Montreal's defense stops him again. Are you kidding me? Ottawa cannot find a way. Turnover on downs.
Listen, again, I'm going to highlight, I believe it's Archibald. Okay, we're going to look at him here. He's sitting on the line. He's sitting on the line, Dustin. This time it's a defensive lineman. Here we are. Pretty sure this is it. Let's just roll it. Who's blocking him, Dustin? Who's what? Like, I get you. Oh, what is he doing? They're in shotgun. It's weird. You expect your players to be able to block a defensive lineman who is on the line of scrimmage. Like, I'm losing. I cannot even fathom what I just watched. I can't fathom
Now,
it.
if it's 3rd and inches, I do think it's ridiculous to be lined up.
I agree. I agree with you with that.
Here's Alexander. Bouncing around the pocket all the time in the world. Now he's flushed out to his right. On the run. He's just going to keep it and go. He's going to throw it away. Looked like he was ready to step out of bounds.
Dustin, I want to go back. I agree. I hate the idea of being in shotgun. I do. But in Ryan Dinwiddie's defense, when you draw something up and you don't block a hands-out D lineman, and by the way, you're running right at it.
You know what it is.
Yeah. This wasn't like, oh, he's backside, we're not. Like, this is a rollback play. I can't fathom what I just watched. I'm losing my mind. You don't even block them.
To the 6, to the 2, to the 2, to the 5. And they have 6 points to show for it. 2nd and 10. Alexander. And he guns that one in there to Sneed. And Davis is creeping up towards a 400-yard evening.
This is a missile right here. Tight window. Ripped it in there. I'm still losing my mind.
Season high for Sneed. He's had a heck of a night. That one goes for 17. Think about Redblacks fans. You watch this season unfold the way it's unfolded. And then to watch Jake Maier, I mean, it's going to be well over 300 yards probably by the end of the game. And you settled for 2 chip shot field goals.
Dustin, again, I'll get over it, I promise you, but I'm legitimately dumbfounded. If Ottawa was the team that was coming off the short week, I'd be like, you know, maybe we could place a little bit on preparation. Ottawa is the team coming off a bye.
Montreal's on the short week.
Correct.
Montreal with the Sunday-Friday matchup here. And they'll go on the ground, right up the middle. And they haven't used them a lot tonight. But Tice has it.
Now back to the Anthony Calvillo game plan today, which has been flawless. This is a moment, be very fascinating to see if they take a shot here, put the final dagger in Ottawa. Or they can continue to keep the ball on the ground, move the chains.
2nd and a couple. Tice will slide right back in. They've got some blocking there as well. They will give it to him. He pushes it ahead, and he has the first down. There is a flag on the play. Might have been a horse collar.
Major foul.
Sneed, I believe, is down on one leg.
Major foul.
Far sideline.
Horse collar tackle. Ottawa number 93. 15 yards will be enforced from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
I believe this is a face mask and a horse collar.
This is actually and a hip drop. You go face mask into a horse collar into the hip drop tackle.
Checking 3 boxes.
Yeah, that's a tough play, tough moment.
Aiden John flagged there, 19th overall pick back in 23. And as they take a look at Sneed, we will step away from TD Place. Welcome back to Ottawa. The 2026 World Flag Championships are coming up. There's the schedule for both the men and the women in Dusseldorf, Germany.
I was wondering if you could pronounce that. That sounded pretty good.
I thought I had pulled it off. Eh?
Yeah, I bet they have some great beer there.
We've got some Football Canada VIPs. Eva Havaris, the CEO of Football Canada, in the house. And Joanne Pollock, chair of the board, GM of the Rough Riders, Ottawa Rough Riders, back from 89 to 91. Wonder what she'd say about this team. Find Philpott. He's 10 yards away. Now he's 2 yards away from a 1,000-yard season. If he used to get 2 more yards and hit 1,000 yards tonight, he would tie the CFL record for fewest games to hit 1,000 yards. That's the type of year this guy's having.
And you said at fewest games, like you get 1,000 yards in a full season, you're pretty amped.
2nd and 2. Just past midfield.
Go get it. Go get it.
They'll go to Tice. Big boys in front of him. And marches it down to the 49 more yards on the ground.
Just a sea of white pushing bodies. And watch Tice here. Just watch the intensity at the end of this run. So he presses up, makes a cut here. But this is where you just, he's hungry, man. Boom, hits there, keeps the legs pumping. We're jumping out of this thing. It's just, the toughness jumps off the film.
Montreal's offense, first in the league, averaging 443 yards per game, 2nd in points at 34.1. The Stampeders almost at 40 points a game. Ridiculous start offensively to their season. Now back on the ground again, and this is Tice time here for Montreal as they look to seal one away against Ottawa.
If you're a Montreal fan right now, I believe Tyler Sneed is walking back into the huddle. So you're happy about that. And on 2nd and 2 here, they left Donnie Ventrelli. Oh, he's in all the time, but they left him at tight end. I believe they left Sage Doxtator in here. So it'll be interesting to see if they hand the ball off or if they go with this deep in-cutting route with the off-play action, which has done a lot today.
Mason in there to protect as well if needed. And now he'll block as they hand it off to Tice, and he sort of stumbles his way ahead down inside the Ottawa 30. Davis Alexander's at 395 yards, his career high 441. He had a huge first half. Had a good conversation with Tice earlier in the week as well. What, do you go on the carnivore diet for a little bit?
That's what they said. He was awesome. You know, getting to talk with him this week was a big highlight. Just, you want to go to a football guy. That's what he came off the conversation to me as. Just a football guy.
Well, that's what I believe I asked Davis Alexander. I said, give me one word to describe Tice. And that's what he said. He's a football player.
Yeah.
It's 2 words technically, but football player.
Tough, runs hard, good pass pro, catch the ball, does it all.
He'll stand in behind his quarterback here, 1st and 10. They're throwing. It's Phil Pott pushing it ahead, and that will be 1,000 yards receiving for Phil Pott in his 8th game. You have to go to Terry Green in 1983, Hal Patterson in 1956. The other 2 players who did it in 8 games. We're watching history this season with Phil Pott.
That is outrageous. That is an outrageous, Dustin. I mean, that is special.
And you can use him in so many different ways in the offense as well. There's the ball. 1,000 yards already for Phil Pott. That's nuts. Davis Alexander, end zone, wide open. That's nuts. Touchdown. Flag back by the quarterback, but he gets it into the hands of Ferdinand.
Holding Montreal number 59. 10-yard penalty. We're going to replay 2nd down.
2nd touchdown wiped off the board by a penalty for Montreal tonight.
So we'll check it out here. This is who they call it on. We'll watch now. Good punch there. I mean, there's definitely not a hold early. I think they're calling the fall later. The ball's already thrown. That's another tough one. I do understand the throw. It had no effect on the play.
400-yard game for Davis Alexander. That's the 3rd of his career. More flags here. Looks down towards the end zone again, and that one will be incomplete. I was trying to find Speaker, who already has 2 touchdowns in this game, but there is a flag.
Offensive offside. Montreal number 85. That penalty is declined. It will be third down.
Tyler Snead, second time he's been offside in this game. They'll probably be okay with it. He's got 174 yards and a touchdown. I think you can let that one slide, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say so.
They will set up a 42-yard field goal attempt from Maltos Diaz. He's 20 of 21 on the season, near perfect. This will be from just inside that left hash. Zima to hold. And as per usual, Maltos Diaz makes the kick. It's all Montreal here in Ottawa on Friday Night Football. Time now for the Fisher Investments stat of the game. And we're calling it the Dirty Dozen. 12 straight losses in the regular season. 12 straight losses versus Montreal. 12 straight home losses versus Montreal as well. Not to pile on, but that's tough.
That's real tough. Uh-oh. The paper bags are out. Oh, man. I grew up a Detroit Lions fan, being from Windsor. And those were very common when I was a child.
I also grew up a Detroit Lions fan. Hated my life for about 30 years. There, Everhart spins off a tackle. Does enough there, I think, to get the first down. So if you're Jake Mayer, what's going through your head right now?
I think just keep playing, next play. Although it seems like you're out of this game, you need reps with this offense. You're still new here, new guys. Just continue to work timing, one play at a time.
Back to Everhart again. This time, Beveret's got him, and he will hang on after a pickup of 5 yards. Beveret's third tackle of the game has a knockdown. Had that strip fumble that got overturned as well. He's kind of been all around it.
And back to this Redblacks offense. Their receiving room is really good.
There's Lewis. He's got it. Looks like he'll be marked forward progress just short of the first down, and that'll bring up third down again.
But again, back to this receiving group. Geno Lewis, Hardy, those are two great guys. You look at White. Eberhardt's been a huge surprise, but great this year. Bimbleton.
3rd and 1. This time it's Jake up the middle. And he'll pick it up. No problem. Here's another look at Jake this time. And Ottawa has called a timeout. Fans still loving these first downs. Just wish they had a few more of them.
Timeout,
in
Ottawa.
some critical situations earlier in the game.
And you talk about this offense, and 13 points, it's criminal. But they're going up against a defense in Montreal that coming into tonight, when it came to opponent's completion percentage, they led the league. First at 66.9%. You go into opponent's second down conversion, they're second in the league at 49.3%. This is a defense that has statistically played extremely well. And Ottawa has done some great things against them.
Bears over 300 yards. He's got man wide open. That was Hardy, who circled back around and dives ahead for a first down. Now this is an Ottawa offense, though, that's 8th in the league in yards for, 9th in the league in rushing the ball, 7th in points for. They turn it over more than anybody, and they've got the fewest big plays as well. Tonight, though, injured player, not much on the ground, but over 300 through the air.
Dustin, if you're a offensive-minded guy, coach, player, and you come into training camp, those are the first things that your coach says, hey, we need to be great in these categories. And you just went through all of them, and they're basically dead last or second last in every single one of them. Not good.
All right, we are going to step away as they look at Canton Arcou of the Alouettes. Friday Night Football continues here on TSN. CFL on TSN continues tomorrow as the Stampeders take on the Ticats at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on TSN, CTV, and Crave. And then later, the Rough Riders will take on the Elks in a big rematch, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on TSN. That one, the second half of a home-and-home in Edmonton.
Couple big matchups tomorrow.
Here, Hardy again. And the ball comes out. He looks like he's hurt. It's picked up by Montreal, and they're going to go back the other way. Jamon Green, touchdown, Alouettes. They blow this thing wide open. Will this be coming back? Was he down before that ball popped out?
It's really fascinating. I also think Hardy got hit directly in the head. We'll see it. Perhaps it's a bang-bang play.
The ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by Montreal. Recovered by Montreal. As a fumble, the play will be reviewed.
Well, we'll give you a few more looks at it.
Dustin, this is like a WWE clothesline here. Ready?
Ooh. That was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now, as far as the knee going down,
he was trying to punch it out. Is that why the swing came in there so hard?
I would say so, but again, I'm not a defensive guy, but sometimes I wonder, that's got to hurt your arm in the morning. I do think we're down here, though.
All right, they took a quick look at it. Let's send it back down to the field for the official ruling here.
Upon further review, the ball carrier was down with contact at the 30-yard line. It will be second down.
All right, Montreal has thrown a challenge flag here.
That's always a little funky, so we reviewed it.
They just reviewed it to see if he was down.
And then you're going to challenge the review. That's a competitor.
They just took a look at it.
Look at it again, because you're wrong.
That wasn't good enough. We need you to get another look at it.
Montreal is challenging the previous play for illegal interference, blocking downfield by Ottawa 87. The play will be reviewed.
I like that. Jason Boss getting some intel from his booth.
So they're going to challenge this right there.
This is what we're looking at.
Give you a couple more looks at this. It's really a timing issue on this one.
This will be fascinating.
All right, quick look at this one as well. Let's send it back down to Andre.
Upon further review, there was illegally blocking downfield by Ottawa 87. This is a 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage, and we're going to replay first down.
I agree with that assessment. First off, it's a great job by Jason Moss or whoever's in his booth to find that. But by the letter of the law, you do need to wait for your receiver to catch the ball before you engage in any contact. That one view you showed, you can kind of see he's pushing right away.
Little push, yeah.
So that's a legitimate call.
So after it's all said and done, we've got a 1st and 20 on the Montreal 49 for the Redblacks. 5.5 to play here on Friday Night Football. Doubleheader coming up tomorrow on TSN. 13 straight completions for Jake Maier. Dumps it off to his running back, who had a one-hander earlier in the game. Could not get the job done with one hand there. Second and long.
Yeah, Dustin, in a situation like this, 2nd and 20, not too many plays in the playbook to get a first down. Not too many plays are designed to get somebody open 20 yards down the field. 2nd and 20.
Maier looks to his left. Now he's going to take off up the middle. And Jake Maier will be tracked down from behind. And that'll be 3rd and long.
And Ryan Dinwiddie's keeping the offense out there, running and gunning. They're still competing. Got enough yards or he's going to give it a shot.
Jake Maier does not take off from the pocket very often. He'll throw from it here on the 3rd and 11. Montreal only sends 3. Drops everybody else. Down the field. Incomplete. Hardy. Looks like he's frustrated. Thought he should have had it.
Yeah, he's got to catch that. So Montreal brings 3, drops 9, and Hardy just slides behind the zone right here. It's a little stick nod. See how he went outside and comes in? And the throw is low there because Jake is trying to protect him. Kind of slide under that thing. That's one Hardy's going to want back.
Hardy, 7 catches on 10 targets tonight. Team leading 77 yards. And he'll head back to the sidelines. Montreal gets the ball back with about 4 minutes to play, and they lead by 21. Davis Alexander smack dab on 400 yards. Now they'll hand it off to the backup running back, Rashawn Baker. He's had a couple of touches tonight. That's his 3rd carry of the game. Goes for about a yard.
Timeout, Ottawa.
Montreal.
Timeout, please reset the game clock to read 3 minutes and 55 seconds.
This will make it 5 wins in a row for Montreal. They head home next weekend to take on Edmonton. Just in a battle of the best from the West versus first place in the East.
And I know that there's, and I've been one of those guys, the West is obviously a much tougher division, but that shouldn't take anything away from this Montreal team because they are across the board a tremendous football team. They got a great offensive line. Travis Tice running the ball right now has been phenomenal. The receiving room we talked about all night. The quarterback is an MOP candidate. Defensively, they do a lot of great things.
2nd and 9 for Davis. Looking for Philpott. He's got him at the 50. And he can tack on a few more for Philpott. How about 20 of them?
And we talk about offensive line. Again, look at the protection. Really nice. A little clear out inside, and coming underneath is Philpott. They certainly make it look easy, too.
Philpott, in the Week 4 meeting between these two clubs, had 198 yards. You say, oh, he's never going to do that again. He's at 182 right now. Baker broke the first tackle, pushes it ahead for a pickup of about 3 yards on the play as the clock ticks down to 3 minutes here in the nation's capital. And it's been all Montreal all night as the first place Alouettes walking all over the Redblacks on Friday Night Football. Tice has a rushing touchdown in 6 straight games. For more on Montreal's running back, let's send it down to Claire Hanna.
Yeah, Dustin, I asked Travis Tice about that, and I was trying to get him to brag about his performances recently, but he wouldn't take the bait, just giving credit to his offensive core, saying the receivers are so good. They have so much coverage in the secondary. It opens up things in the box for him. But more importantly, he hasn't always played running back. He played quarterback in high school, helping Pratt High School win a state championship in Kansas. Now, the Alouettes actually showed the team this high school footage from this season. And Tice, he got called out because last season the Alouettes were looking for someone on the team who had taken snaps under center and could run short yardage plays. And Tice did not volunteer to put his hand up. Now, Tice claims he doesn't remember, or maybe he was in the bathroom, but we need to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, he's obviously, as we said earlier in the broadcast, just a football player. Now here's a flag as Davis goes down the field. Tice has been outstanding for the last couple of weeks. What do you say? He was a quarterback as a freshman and as a senior, running back, sophomore, junior year.
Looked like a mutant there in his high school. I like that. How about this? I mean, you can't talk about a better 2 weeks. Can't get much better than that as far as rankings go.
And when you've got Dedrick Mills doing what he's doing, Justin Rankin in Edmonton doing what he's doing, and for the last couple of weeks, this guy's been the best running back in the league.
Yes, and tonight the numbers aren't crazy, only 62 yards, but he's done it on 10 attempts. So you're averaging 6.2 a pop. It's quite a nice, another great night at the office.
Coming into this game, he was averaging 6.3 yards per carry. So basically, par for the course for Tice in this one. A rare punt for the Alouettes tonight. Zima, low driving kick. Pimpleton will watch it. And that one out of bounds at the 4-yard line with 2:46 on the clock. 42-yard kick from Zima. And that'll be it for Jake Mayer tonight. Jake Mayer, 311 yards, 34 of 41, and the 1 interception on the outside, just outside the end zone. Bryson Barnes gets the ball the rest of the way at this one. Played at both Utah and Utah State.
That's a bit of a wild, you go Utah to Utah State. There had to be some drama there, Dustin.
Has to start it on his own 4. Right to White. Was wrapped up immediately on the play by Goudry after a 6-yard pickup. So Jake Mayer, there he is. There's a look at his final numbers. Once again, the only number he cares about would be a 1 in the win column. Just can't find it.
Yeah, it's tough. Again, he got 6 incompletions on 41 attempts. One of those was a drop. You feel for the guy because you come out here against this defense and you have a performance like that and you have 13 points to show for it. And as much, I'm not trying to take anything away from Montreal and this defense and Noel Thorpe. It's really not my intent. When you're sitting there and you don't block linemen or linebackers on the line of scrimmage, which should be included in your pound.
Barnes in trouble and he'll be wrapped up.
Certainly makes you scratch your head.
So it's been Jake Mayer's job all along. They do have MBT, had some family commitments, wasn't here tonight. I'm with you. Like, this is not on Jake tonight. He had a pretty good game against a pretty good defense, but at some point you go 0-7, got to try something different.
I don't think so. Again, maybe I'm in the wrong camp here.
Barnes stumbles as he throws that one.
If it was turnovers, if it was bad reads, if it was not understanding what you're trying to do, if you felt like you were limited in your play calling because of him, sure, maybe I look to try and make a change, but if you're looking at this game from a pure X and O standpoint tonight, Dustin, you can't play the game that much better. And again, we're not in the meeting room, so if it's one of those things where, Ryan Dinwiddie feels like he's limited because of Jake Mayer and his play calling, that's something we'll never know. I would be shocked if he feels that way. They got a lot of other limiting factors. I don't think it's Jake Mayer.
All right, let's get to Wilson's game ball here on Friday Night Football. Who you got?
I got to go with Davis Alexander. I mean, this guy had a special evening. It started early. They were slinging it right from that first drive. You see the stat line there. 22 of 30 for 420, 3 TDs. He was poised, he was cool, calm, collected, all those things. But the different throws you're watching, you saw the screen there. There's been shots. He's made a couple off-schedule plays. He has no weakness in his game. I do not like when people are saying, oh, we're going to try and keep him in the pocket. He's unbelievable in the pocket. I don't know what we're talking about. He's unbelievable out of it as well. So certainly he gets the nod from me for the Wilson's game ball.
358 yards to Philpott and Sneed, who were targeted 20 times. Edmond gets that back just outside the 51.
What do you think, Dustin? That was the other guy. I thought about giving it to him, man. An honorable mention game ball because of the big record-breaking performance.
Yeah, he ties 2 other CFLers. Quickest 8 games to hit 1,000 yards to start a season. Terry Green in 83, Hal Patterson back in 56. That's what Philpott has accomplished in this one.
And you're just watching these highlights. The first thing that jumps to me is the versatility. You know, down the seam, jumps up, makes a play in traffic. Outside, he's getting the ball deep. He's running screens. You didn't see a ton of it tonight, but when you're talking with Jason Moss and you're buzzing their film offensively, he also can get his hands dirty and do a lot of blocking. And he's a guy, if you're a kid in Canada, you're a receiver, I would watch Tyson Philpott and I would try and model my game after him. Because when I see it, I don't see much weakness. Again, he's not just some diva that's only catching deep balls. He's doing literally everything.
Also, honorable mention to Sneed tonight, who had 174 yards, and he had a touchdown.
I feel bad. We're jamming up.
Too many options. But, you know, I was talking with you when we were on the way here today. Sneed and Philpott, undeniably the best 1-2 punch in the league of receiver. They've got a 55% target share from Davis between the 2 of them coming into this game tonight. And tonight he had 30 attempts, 20 of them to those 2 guys again. It's a steady diet of Philpott and Sneed.
Yeah, and I think the relationship, again, outside looking in, pretty selfless, because when you have 2 guys that are as talented and having as much success as they both are, it could be easy to let jealousy creep in. But you talk to Jason Moss, you talk to Davis Alexander, they're just happy for each other, which I know it sounds cliche, Dustin, but in a professional environment, when there's money on the line, there's careers on the line, there's all these things that can add in and distract you. When you're playing out there with your boys and you care about your teammates and you're selfless, it's a powerful thing.
Montreal about to lock up their 5th victory in a row. Their only loss by 3 points against Edmonton, who also only has 1 loss on the season. Ottawa now dropped their first 7 to start the year. Montreal also 4-0, will now go to 5-0 against the East. We'll give you a look at the standings in just a moment. Barnes has to start on his own 7 again late in this one. And he'll go to Adebaboye. Adebaboye will pick up a first down. A little bit more for Ottawa as well. Let's declare this one over and take a look at the East standings. There's Montreal comfortably in control of the East at 7-1. Hamilton and Toronto, good little battle brewing there between 2 rivals for second, and Ottawa now 0-7. And there's an interception to seal off the night as that goes into the arms of Lorenzo Burns, and now Burns is going to take it to the far side. Finds the 25 and will be forced out of bounds there. And a little salt in the wound for those still here in Ottawa.
And again, Ottawa not on the same page. Obviously, we're in garbage time, but Barnes thinks that there's going to be a bender or a seam route, if you will, that kind of wraps in there. And his receiver's running a corner. So, in all my time playing, corners don't generally convert into benders, or again, an in-breaking route. That's generally not a conversion. Could be, I guess. But another mental error by the Ottawa offense.
And it'll be victory formation for the Montreal Alouettes, who started this game on fire and just never looked back. Dominated all 3 sides of the football tonight. Offense, defense, special teams as well.
Dustin, in what's scary about Montreal, if you're a fan of this league, is until tonight, and I kind of brought this up, you know, to Jason Moss this week when we talked to him. I didn't think they had played near their best ball. Like, they've played well, don't get me wrong, but when you watch the film, I'm like, yeah, you know, the couple things they can really clean up still. It's not like they're playing out of their mind.
He agreed with you.
And he did.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary, because they're 6-1, and tonight I did think, especially offensively, they played out of their mind. It was unbelievable. But this team is nowhere near, like, their potential still. They're a wagon in this league. If they can stay healthy, sky's the limit.
A 7-1 start for the Montreal Alouettes. Last time they did that, just 2 years ago in 2024. So Montreal looks to be the real deal, no doubt about it, with what they're able to accomplish. Davis Alexander now 6-0 against the Redblacks. He goes for 420 yards and 3 touchdowns. Huge games for Philpott and Sneed. If you had those guys in fantasy, you're loving it tonight. And Ottawa left once again searching, desperate for answers. Losses to Edmonton, Toronto, Montreal, Saskatchewan, Edmonton again, Winnipeg, and now Montreal again here at home. 34-13, the final here tonight of Friday Night Football from the nation's capital. Thank you very much for joining us. Sports Center is next with Mark Rowe and Matt Scooby. Good night from Ottawa.